Welcome back to the first Euro 2024 deadline stream, and it has been 2 weeks since the last live stream in general for the Champions League final in UCL Fantasy. But here we are with the Euros, and we're just under 2 hours away from kickoff between Germany and Scotland. We should get the lineups in 56 minutes at 7 PM UK time, but maybe we could get some early lineups like we do in UCL Fantasy as well. You can see the countdown there just below my big head, and all the graphics on the left in terms of stats. Well, nothing's really applicable yet, but in Euro 2020, which was played in 2021, my overall rank was around 35 to 45,000 in the world. I have to double check that. But in UCL Fantasy this season, which is identical to Euro Fantasy, I finished in the top 900 in the world with my best ever rank. And 2 years ago, I also had a very similar one, around 878 in that occasion. And I think this time was like 836. But enough bragging. Let's not talk about all that. I also cover FPL if you want to check that out, but who cares about the Premier League right now? It's all about the Euros, and that's what we're going to cover today. This isn't my final team because a lot of people will ask this, and one thing I would encourage in general is for people not to copy, to go for their own ideas and to go for their own selections, because you can do better than any, video creator, for example, you watch, and also your friends in your mini leagues, and you want to win those. And by watching my content, that will help you to do so by becoming a better Euro Fantasy player. But let's get straight into this and go through your questions. There are so many already, and there are over 200 people watching, and we've only just begun, so I do appreciate that. I've got one big goal for today, which is to reach 24,000 subscribers, and we're just over 140 away. So if we can get to that milestone, it'd be greatly appreciated and a bit poetic, right? Euro 2024, 24,000 subscribers. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But let's get straight into your questions. Man United's finish says, Pavlovic will pocket Saka, Foden, Kane and Bellingham. Not Saka, but maybe the rest. My team is Verbruggen, Van Dijk, DeMarco, Mittelstadt, Kerkez, Szoboszlai, Jorginho, Wirtz, Mbappe, Lukaku, and Morata. Also have Cancelo, KDB, Fernandes on my bench. That is a great team. The one player I'd have an issue with is Kerkez, because as much as I've rated Hungary in my videos and podcasts, I wouldn't really trust them to keep a clean sheet. So that's the only player I'm a bit unsure about, but he could get ball recoveries and the odd assist, so it's still not a bad pick, but I think he's the weak link in your squad. The rest looks really strong, even Morata, if you can get his shooting boots on. How many times can you change the captain? So you have 5 shots of the captaincy. The way it works is that you have different days within the match day. So we've obviously got the game today between Germany and Scotland. You can captain a German or Scotland player. Then on the 15th, you can change the captain. And then on the 16th, 17th and 18th. So the answer is actually 4. You can put one captain for today, then change it 4 times, and overall there'll be 5 opportunities of nailing the captaincy. But of course, you can't go back to your previous captain. Once you make that change, that is irreversible. Kane or Ronaldo? Kane for me, as I discuss in the Best Forwards video and podcast. Aviad M says, hey Dylan, great live. Dilemma. The heart says Foden, the head Bellingham. What to do? I'll be honest, the way I kind of break it down is Bellingham is more nailed on than Foden for England, but if you look at their records for the national team, I think Foden is slightly better in terms of goals and assists, and I might try to get these numbers up. You know what? We might as well. So we'll make use of the graphics, which I spent ages making over the last couple of weeks. So let's get straight into this. This is Harry Kane, of course. I'll try to find Foden and Bellingham. I've got a long list of players here. Okay, perfect. So Bellingham, with 44% ownership, it's probably higher or lower by now. That might have to change. But for England, 29 games, 3 goals and 5 assists. And for Real Madrid, he got 36 goal contributions. Now, if we compare that to Phil Foden, as you can see, 4 goals and 8 assists for Foden in 34 games. But in fact, the England midfielder with the best record is Bukayo Saka with 11 goals and 7 assists in 33 matches, and he's actually won back-to-back Player of the Year awards for England. But just putting out there, of course, you asked about Bellingham or Foden. I would probably go for Foden, but I do recognise that he's a bit less nailed on than Bellingham, who can play deeper, but also in the attacking midfield role we've seen for Real Madrid. So if you have any other questions about players, I'll try to delve into some graphics and show you some stats on screen as well from time to time to keep things fresh, but I'm not going to always do it, otherwise we're going to take forever, and we've got so many questions to get through. So back to my team at the moment, and I've made a few changes basically from the previous team selections and drafts, but it's not locked in. For example, I might change the midfield in particular. I'm not entirely happy about it. I could bring in Kevin De Bruyne once again for Leandro Trossard and make a change. I can obviously recognize that the message is kind of covering the substitutes, but I've currently got Diogo Costa, Bruno Fernandes, Cancelo, and Wout Faes there on my bench. I can bring them on for my lowest scoring players in the starting 11 once their matches have been played. Okay, so I'm going to whiz through these because if I'm being realistic, every single question being answered, which I always do in my live streams, it's going to be very difficult to do today. So Mbappe confirmed injured. He is not injured. He has an illness and he missed training. He should be available for Matchday 1. As for this question about Theo Hernandez by Bajaraz, I think Theo Hernandez will play. He posted something on his Twitter which indicated he took part in full training, and that's what I covered in the updated lineups video and podcast yesterday. So Theo Hernandez is a doubt for Matchday 1, but I think he will play there, and the same goes for Kylian Mbappe. Fabian Schär or any other nailed-on defender other than Italy, Germany and Belgium? Well, I wouldn't actually say Fabian Schär is nailed on. There is a chance that he doesn't play, and you've got a back three of Elvedi, Akanji and Ricardo Rodriguez with Ndoye as the left wing back. So just be careful about that. I don't think Fabian Schär is completely nailed on, but in terms of nailed on defenders, your question, I'd say Mark Gay and John Stones for England are pretty decent options. And whilst Trent isn't nailed on beyond Matchday 1, all the reports indicate he will definitely start against Serbia. So he's another one I'd also factor in. Serbia will shock you all when they beat England. It's possible. I think Serbia are a decent team. They've got some quality players, but if England play to their normal level, they would be the favourites. There's no denying that. Mbappe out for the first round. I just covered that, but yeah, we'll obviously have some repeat questions and stuff, and I'll try to address it and cover everyone's comments and questions, but I think Mbappe will play. That is the way I'm thinking about it, and that's why he's in my team. Is Rodri a good pick? I think so. Ball recoveries, the odd goal here and there. His overall record for Spain isn't great. I think it's 3 goals and 2 assists in 50 games. But in recent international games, he's been quite prolific. He scored a brace against Brazil, and he's getting more goal contributions, I think. Mbappe or no Mbappe, you can go without him. You know, I've said this time after time again, but I'm going for him at the moment, so my answer would be Mbappe. Gundogan or Sudakov for Matchday 1? I'd go for Gundogan. He's also likely to be the penalty taker for Germany, but I do like Sudakov as well. Man United's finished also says, Mittelstadt or Wirtz captain for today? It's tricky. I think I'd go for Wirtz here out of the two, but in terms of my setup, I'm going for Mittelstadt. Havertz or Dovbyk? Probably Havertz, and I also talk about this in the Best Forwards video and podcast. Yeah, I agree, Duranzi. I think Saka is better than Bellingham and Foden for England. I think that's definitely the case. Is this your real team? Well, I always try to show my real team, but my channel members and patrons, for example, they also have a perk where they can see my team before anybody else. And this is currently, I think there's only 2 changes from what I have at the moment to what you see on screen. And I'm probably going to make more changes in the next hour. I'm trying to be completely transparent, but the channel members and patrons will find out first, and then afterwards I'll show all subscribers what I'm going for. And by the way, I will be gifting 10 memberships out, and once you become a channel member, be sure to check my community posts and see what my final team is before anybody else. And you can also get early access to my videos and priority reply to comments. So just stay tuned, and I'll be gifting 10 memberships very shortly, probably 5 very soon, and then 5 later in the deadline stream. Yeah, I think Theo Hernandez will play. Wirtz or Trossard? Probably Trossard at the moment, but I am conflicted about it. I'm not convinced about either option, but Trossard has been in great form for club and country, and Wirtz only has 1 goal for the German national team. Bestie says Sudakov and 4-point family and defender, or Cancelo and Jorginho. I'd go for Cancelo and Jorginho there, mate. I'm just going to see if I've missed any other questions from channel members and patrons, but Ignacio, good to see you as always. Vamos, let's go, Dylan. Good to see you, mate, as always. Likewise, thank you very much. Havertz, in my opinion, Ukraine lost with Poland, which is totally weak right now. Yeah, look, I have to say I agree with you and your previous comments too, but Dovbyk is still a really good option, in my opinion. He's been in great form. Let's see. Thank you very much, Soldier Boy. I appreciate it. I did put a lot of time into making all the graphics and finding the stats. That's the kind of time-consuming part of it, but I appreciate the kind words. I do apologize, by the way, if I don't get to your question. If after, let's say, 5-10 minutes I haven't answered it, you can put your question or comment again. Just don't spam the chat because I don't want to time anybody out. Nafi says Foden or Pedri for Matchday 1. I'd still go for Foden, but Pedri scored a brace very recently and he's a top quality player. Who are your current favourite goalkeeper double-ups? Probably what you see on screen, Verbruggen and Diogo Costa. But I do like other goalkeepers, of course, and Pickford is still right up there for me. But probably Diogo Costa and one of Lunin or Verbruggen. Yeah, Saka will definitely play. I've been asked this a lot. Saka is nailed on for England. He's won the Player of the Season or Player of the Year back-to-back for England, and he's got a great record for them compared to the likes of Foden and Bellingham. Welcome, Godsent. Hey, Dylan, how's it going, bro? Cruz or Rodri? All well. Hopefully the same for you too. I'd probably go for Rodri, but Tony Cruz, it's his last international tournament, his last tournament period in football, and he's one of the best midfielders of his generation, but I'm going to go for Rodri. Hey, man, I'm guessing you're putting Verbruggen over Lunin because Lunin may not start. Not necessarily, actually. It's just I really trust the Netherlands overall, and they've looked really solid with Verbruggen in goal. He's got a great record for the national team. I think it's 5 clean sheets in 7 games. That's why I'm going for Verbruggen, but if I'm being honest, it also depends on your chip strategy, because for the first 2 match days, I would argue Lunin has better fixtures when you combine match day 1 and 2. I don't like that France fixture in match day 2 for France. For the Netherlands. So yeah, that's what's kind of put me off Verbruggen a little bit, but I am going for him at the moment. What are your actual thoughts on having Ronaldo in the squad? It is a good pick. He's 4th in my list for the best forwards, but I don't think he'll play 90 minutes every single game. There might even be the odd match where someone else starts instead of him, like a Diogo Jota or Joao Felix, and then they've got Rafael Leao and a more dynamic attack. But Cristiano Ronaldo should start every single game for Portugal, in my opinion, but he might be subbed off around 70, 80 minutes, I'd say. Ronaldo over Kane? Maybe. I don't discourage that or discard that completely. I really like the Trossard pick, and I want him, but is he better than Jude or Wirtz? I actually did change him. So at the moment, I've got De Bruyne instead of Trossard, but I'm very conflicted, and I put several polls out, and honestly, I'm an overthinker, I'll be quite honest. When it comes to fantasy, I certainly like to leave things last minute, and I don't want to do that. Ideally, I set my team up, and then I just answer your questions, but it's just the way I am. In terms of, is he better than Jude and Wirtz? I think he's better than Jude for the national team, but with Wirtz, I mean, only 1 goal for Germany, but I think this could be his breakthrough tournament, or breakout tournament, should I say. I've gone Lunin over Verbruggen, Tart over DeMarco, Jude, Wirtz, Jorginho, Chak Vesatsi, or I've probably butchered that, over Trossard, Højbjerg, Shaqiri. Yeah, that's completely fair enough. My midfield is a bit weak in my opinion. At the moment, I've got De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes, 2 top quality midfielders, but the rest is definitely a bit iffy, I'd say. Thank you for the super chat, Carlos. I appreciate it. Let me just get to you. So thank you. Pickford, Lunin, Fass, Van Dijk, DeMarco, Mittelstadt, Tar, Saka, Bruno, Rodri, Gundogan, Chak, I'll call him Chak, Mbappe, Ken, Lukaku. ¿Qué cambiarías, crack? No mucho. No tengo mucha confianza en el jugador de Georgia, que no puedo decir el nombre porque soy medio pelotudo, pero lo demás me gusta mucho. No tengo mucho problema con los arqueros. Para mí, Pickford y Lunin están entre los 5 mejores arqueros. La defensa también está muy sólido. Mira, yo sé que es muy arriesgado, pero puede ser que Frimpong juegue el partido en la jornada 1 y sea mejor que Van Dijk, pero me gusta mucho tu equipo, no cambiaría mucho. Y sí, la única duda que tengo es Chak Vesatsi. No voy a decirlo de nuevo, pero sí, es el único jugador que no me gusta mucho. Lo demás está espectacular, en mi opinión. Ronaldo o Lukaku? Lukaku. It's close, but I think Lukaku's expected minutes puts him ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo, who's still one of the best goal scorers in the world. Will Jorginho start? I'm convinced he will. He might not be as important to Italy as he was 3 years ago in Euro 2020, but I think Jorginho will start here. And some of you might be thinking, you can't count Dylan. Well, he actually was played in 2021. Let's not forget. Any good defender under 4.5 million? Other than Mittelstadt, Gay, and Wout Fast? That's a good question, to be fair. There are good defenders. I think Kasia for ball recoveries from Georgia could be quite decent. And I did cover all the possible 4 to 4.5 million defenders who are likely to start in my predicted lineups video and also the updated version. But Kasia definitely springs to mind. There's probably a few others I'm forgetting right now, but there definitely are a few. I might actually go to the graphics now and have a quick look because I think I need a bit of a refresher there. Who is more likely to start, Dumfries or Mailer? Great question. I think Dumfries, and you might be thinking, what about Frimpong? It looks like Frimpong is competing with Xavi Simons as the right winger. That is what we're kind of looking at. Juan Garcia, Dylan, you're smashing it. Great vids for UCL. Can't wait for this Euro season. So many options and differentials. Good luck. Thank you very much. For Euros, I think there's 14 videos out on the channel. This is the 15th piece of content for the fantasy format, and it's pretty much already matching what I've done for Euro 2020. So I appreciate the kind words and good luck in this tournament. List out all your captains for Matchday 1. I did it in my team selection, but of course I have changed a few things. So if we sort it out by date, with this team, and once again, I have to stress, this isn't locked in. I might make further changes because I'm an overthinker. So on the 14th, today, I'm going for Mittelstadt. Tomorrow, if I'm not happy with the captaincy and the points for Mittelstadt, I will probably go, and I have to say I'm not a big fan of these options, probably for DeMarco, I have to say, against Albania. On the 16th, I'd likely go for Harry Kane. On the 17th, I'd probably go for Kylian Mbappe if he's in the lineup. And of course, I got Lukaku and either Trossard or De Bruyne. As I mentioned, at the moment, I've got De Bruyne over Trossard, and I've made a few other changes elsewhere. And then on the 18th, I think I'm going to go for Bruno Fernandes. But I might even be settled and, you know, have a really good captaincy score, and I don't need to go all the way to Bruno Fernandes. And I'm hoping that's the case. But yeah, that's my current captaincy plan with this squad you see on screen, which isn't locked in. I have to stress that. So yeah, once again, I do apologize for not getting through all the questions. I am trying my best. Thank you, Carlos. And if you have any other questions, let me know. You don't need to send a super chat. Can we get that in English? Yeah, fair enough, Casper. Let me just remember the question that I had before, and then I'll answer your question. So he basically asked what he would change, and I basically highlighted the Georgian player, Chak Vitadze, as the only problem I have with Carlos's squad, and the rest looks really good. That's basically all I said. As for your question, Van Dijk or Denzel Dumfries? Virgil van Dijk for me. He could be on penalties, although Depay might still be number one. And Van Dijk is just nailed on. Probably better for ball recoveries. Whilst Denzel Dumfries, I'm just not so sure about him. Thank you, Jaya. I'm from a Spanish-speaking country. And look, this is the country, Argentina, mate. But my English is way better, unfortunately. Is Gvardiol a good option? Yes, I think he is a good option, but he was highlighted as a player to avoid in that video because I think there are better alternatives elsewhere, like DeMarco, Frimpong if he starts, and then there's also Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mark Gay, Jonathan Tah, Mittelstadt. In my opinion, those options are better in terms of value, but I think Gvardiol could be quite decent, get the odd attacking contribution, but I think he's got 2 goals in 30 games for Croatia, and he will be playing a more advanced role now at left back, and I think he could be quite decent for ball recoveries. I'd mainly target Gvardiol for their fixture against Albania, but not against Spain or Italy. I'm here for the Euro Predictor. I'll cover that very soon, trust me. Obviously, this is a Euro fantasy stream, but I'll try to show you my predictions, which probably aren't great, but there you go. I actually did quite well in UCL Predictor, though. Is Havertz a good option? I think he's quite decent, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I ranked him 5th. Yeah, I think 5th or 6th in the best forwards list. I do like him, and he's been in great form for Arsenal and Germany. Best German captain, Mittelstadt, Wirtz, or Gundogan? So the latter should be on penalties, but I think my favourite is Wirtz, I'm not going to lie. No Ronaldo. As things stand, there is a chance I bring him in, or even go for a Dovbyk / Havertz, but I think the most likely change for me is in the midfield, I'm not going to lie. All right, let's get through this. How will you know if Mbappe starts? Well, we won't, but he's ill. The reason why I missed training is because of illness. He's not injured. I think he's going to start. That's just the way I see it. I could be wrong, so you can hold me accountable if you want. But yeah, try not to spam the chat. Thank you, Awali, for moderating it. It's massively appreciated. I've gone for Gay at the moment there. So I do like Trent a lot, but I'm just looking to save that extra 1 million and invest it in other areas, and that's why I'm going for Mark Gay. They're all good options, though. I'd actually put John Stones in the mix, and he returned to training yesterday, so he's no longer isolating with that illness he had. So that's good news for England. But I'd say Gay first, Trent second, and then probably Stones third, and Walker fourth. Since I can't change the captain if player gets a red, is the starting captain pick with a defender a viable risk? That is a great shout, to be fair. Defenders are generally more likely to get a red card, but yeah, I still think Mittelstadt isn't that type of player, and I hope I haven't jinxed it, who gets a red card. That would be awful, wouldn't it? Now, actually, hear me out. So you don't need to sub out a player that you've captained in order to change the captaincy. I'm not entirely sure about that specific rule, by the way. I need to double check it. So I'm just wondering if a player gets sent off, will the captaincy be locked on that player? That is a good question. I don't think it's the case, only for substitutions, but I might be wrong about that. Let me know in the follow-up question. You don't need to send a super chat. Thank you very much for sending that one already. Wow, in all that time I thought you're from Portugal. I've never had that before. I appreciate it. But now I see that you have Argentina roots. That is a big shock for me. Yeah, but yeah, don't take any offense about my Messi Ronaldo comments or whatever. I try not to get into that because I don't want to open that can of worms. Definitely not Shaqiri. I think he'll start in Matchday 1, but I'm not going to lie, he is a big concern for Matchdays 2 and 3. Is DeMarco a must? Not a must. I like him for Matchday 1, but not against Croatia or Spain afterwards. Would you do Theo Hernandez and Costa to Cancelo and Verbruggen since Theo may not play? I think Theo will play, if I'm being honest, but I think Cancelo is a better option in general. It's a close one, but I think ultimately I would go for Cancelo and Verbruggen. There are pros and cons for both duos. My main issue with Verbruggen is that the Netherlands play France in Matchday 2. Is Trent nailed on? For Matchday 1, yes. According to reports, he'll definitely play, but there's no guarantee that Trent will play in Matchday 2 and 3 as that midfield partner for Declan Rice. Hernandez or Trent? Hernandez if he's fit, and I think he will be. Ronaldo's not on my team at the moment. Why is Trent and Jorginho not in your team? Because I've made changes, and there will probably be more changes. I said this in the team selection. I said it already in this deadline stream, and I'll probably do it again. Yeah, I'm doing Predictor 2. I've been asked about it. I'll show it very shortly. Wilson Grimaldo. I covered him in the Best Defenders video on podcasts. I'm not a big fan of him. And just like Frimpong, I think minutes are a massive concern. I could see Cucurella playing one match or starting one match in the group stages. Porco says, Hola Dylan, ¿qué opinas de Baumgartner de Austria? 6.5 million midfielder, buen goles y asistencias en los amistosos y clasificatorias. Mejor opción que Sabitzer. Sí, creo que sí. Mi único problema es que juegan con Francia en la jornada 1 y Holanda en la jornada 3. Ese es mi mayor problema. Pero Baumgartner es bastante bueno para 6.5 millones. No hablé mucho de él, pero la verdad existe muy bien. Apostar con él y creo que es mejor que Sabitzer, estoy de acuerdo con eso, pero con 6.5 prefiero a Shaqiri, a Rodri, Højbjerg y también otros jugadores como JCRHjQ, pero es una buena opción, especialmente para la jornada 2 y 3. Is Simons a starter? I think he will start, as I covered in yesterday's updated lineups, but he's not guaranteed, and I saw a post recently that the Netherlands had the bibs on to indicate the starting players, and Xavi Simons wasn't in that starting 11. Instead, it was Frimpong, so watch out for that. Any other significant injuries, illnesses to miss Matchday 1? Well, I covered most of them yesterday. Lewandowski will not play against the Netherlands. Frankie de Jong and Koop Miners will miss the tournament. Theo Hernandez and Mbappe are doubts, but I think they'll both play. Then you've got Laporte. I think he's very likely to miss out in Matchday 1 against Croatia, and it'll be Nacho taking his place. There's probably others, but there's 24 teams. It's difficult to keep track of every single one of them, and I've probably mentioned most of them in my recent videos and podcasts. But, well, in terms of making videos for subs, probably not, because over the weekend, I'm already focused on Matchday 2 content, and I'm kind of balancing that out with work, and I need to find the time to record the videos. So after this, it will just be Matchday 2 content, probably a best limitless team, then a best wildcard team, and the team selection, and then, of course, the deadline stream. When I'm able to make more content, I'll definitely do so, but I don't think substitutes will be one of them. Channel members and patrons will see my substitutes in the posts, but yeah, I don't think I'll make a video on it. And I don't think many people want to see that, to be honest. Højbjerg or Jorginho? I think Højbjerg is slightly better for goal contributions, but Jorginho is potentially on penalties, and they're both decent for ball recoveries. I'd probably go for Højbjerg if I had to pick one. What are your thoughts on Mitrovic? Good goal scorer. He's got a decent record for Serbia. I think it's like 50 goals in 90 games, something like that. But I think there are better alternatives in the forward position. Shaqiri or Rodri? I think Shaqiri has a higher ceiling, and for Matchday 1, I prefer Shaqiri. But if you want someone longer term, then yeah, Rodri's the safer pick. So it really depends what your chip strategy is. I think Rodri's the safer pick, and I'm going to go for him there. Shaqiri isn't in my final team at the moment. I have made some changes. Thank you, Marcin. How many points is enough to not sub a player? Great question. It really depends. So the way I kind of go about it is, so if you look at my team, let's break it down. So we sort it out by date. I've got Diogo Costa, Bruno and Cancelo on the 18th and Wout Faes on the 17th. So after the games on the 14th, 15th, and 16th, that's when I'll start to make substitutions. There's no need to make substitutions early. That's my main advice there. So once you get to the 17th, you can bring on Wout fast for your lowest scoring player. And honestly, if a player has 3 points or below, I'd be looking to sub them out. That's the way I'm looking to do it. But let's say, for example, everyone in your starting 11 has 4 points and above. That's pretty good, right? But if I've got a Bruno Fernandes on my bench, I'll likely bring on Bruno Fernandes for someone who scored 4 points. So that's the way I'd go about it. If you have any other questions, be sure to let me know. And thank you for the super chat. And also to Haribo, who's sending plenty of super chats, and I do appreciate your support. Hi Dylan, 3 positions I need to finalise. Number 1, Van Dijk or Cancelo. I'd go for Cancelo. Number 2, Sudakov or Eriksen. Probably Eriksen, but both good options. And number 3, Havertz or Dovbyk. I'd go for Havertz. I'm quite surprised to see what you said there about Dovbyk not expected to start. I think he will. In the recent friendly, he came off the bench, and in 9 minutes he scored and assisted. And generally, he does start for Ukraine. He won the La Liga Golden Boot for Girona with 24 goals. He's had a great season. I honestly can't see Dovbyk not starting. That's me personally. I could be wrong, but I would go for Havertz over Dovbyk. Mbappe's not injured. I might make a pin comment just to address this, but Mbappe was ill. That's why he missed training. He is not injured. Hey Dylan, what do you think about this midfield? Højbjerg, Bruno Fernandes, Nico Williams, Wirtz and Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Pretty solid. I like it. You've got good options at different price points. Nico Williams is a nice differential potentially, but he's still a bit risky. And I don't think Spain, despite the fact they've scored 10 goals in the last 2 games, I think they might struggle to score goals in this tournament. If it ends up being wrong, of course, I'll see some Spaniards with pitchforks. I might be wrong about that, but I'm just a bit unsure about Nico Williams in particular. The rest looks incredible, in my opinion. Yeah, Çalhanoğlu is a good option. He's on set pieces in terms of corners, free kicks, and penalties. Decent record for Turkey. I think it's 18 goals, 15 assists in around 80 appearances. So, yeah. I did answer your question, I think, Kada, at the beginning of the stream. You can change the captain 4 times. So you have 5 different shouts of the captain, but only for match day 1. So let's actually break this down. I think that's the best way to go about it. Let me open up a new tab and show you. So let's go to matches. So the way it works is you can captain a player on each day of a single match day. So for match day 1, we've got games on the 14th of June, just the one between Germany and Scotland. Then on the 15th, the 16th, the 17th, and the 18th. So on each day, you can captain one player before the match has started, of course, and you can't revert back to your previous captains. Then in match day 2, I think it'll be 4, right? So we've got games on the 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So that means you have 4 shots of the captaincy in match day 2, and I think the same applies to match day 3 as well, on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. But forget about all that. It's just to put into perspective. In match day 1, you have 5 different opportunities, and that means after your German or Scottish player as your original captain, you can change it a further 4 times. Hopefully I made myself clear. I have covered this extensively in my videos and podcasts, and hopefully people aren't switching off out of boredom. But let's actually show you my predictor, since I have been asked about that already. So I might change some of these predictions. I have gone for 2-0 Germany with Kai Havertz and Germany to score first. I've gone for 1-1 between Hungary and Switzerland with Switzerland and Shaqiri to score first, and then 1-1 between Spain and Croatia, 2-0 Italy, 2-1 Netherlands against Poland, 1-0 Denmark against Slovenia, 2-1 England against Serbia, and then, yeah, you can see the rest on screen. 2-1 Ukraine against Romania, Belgium 3, Slovakia 1, Austria 0, France 2, Turkey 2, Georgia 1, and Portugal 2, Czech Republic 0. And I've put the booster, aka the captaincy, on it with Ronaldo to score first, and Portugal, of course, being the team to score first. But I might change some of these, I'm not going to lie. This is my current tournament bracket, which I might change as well. I've gone for Germany to top the group, Switzerland 2nd, Hungary 3rd, Scotland 4th, and then Group B, I've actually gone for Croatia in 2nd over Italy, the holders, with Spain to top the group, Albania in last, England, Denmark, Serbia, and Slovenia in Group C. In Group D, I've gone for France, Netherlands, Poland, and Austria. And surprises happen, right? So I haven't really factored that in. I might be wrong about some of these. Well, I will be wrong. There's no doubt about it. Group E, Belgium, Ukraine, Romania, and Slovakia. Oh, I'm crying. And finally, Group F, Portugal, Czech Republic, Turkey, and Georgia. And remember, in the Euros, 4 of the 6 best third-place teams will advance to the round of 16. and I've gone for Hungary, Italy, Serbia, and Poland to do so. And yeah, we'll probably we'll talk about the knockouts later, but let's focus on the group stages first. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, and let's show you some different polls as well. And one of them is actually, let me just unhighlight this question. Vote for the best premium defender. I might refresh this just to get, more votes in. So Cancelo is leading with almost half of the votes. In second, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold with 27%, Van Dijk in third, and Theo Hernandez in fourth. And the other option is fifth. And I believe, Winter Soldier said Frimpong is the one to go for, which might be absolutely fair enough, if I haven't misread that. As for this poll, I can't even speak right now, which Euro Fantasy duo do you prefer? And this is kind of in relation to my team. And 56% of you have gone for De Bruyne and Jorginho, whilst 44% have gone for Trossard and either Shaqiri or Çalhanoğlu. And the other poll is about premium forwards. So drop one forward. And Ronaldo is currently leading or losing this vote, no matter how you look at it, with 35%. Mbappe is second with 31%. And then you've got Kane and Lukaku in that order. So a lot of love for Lukaku, it seems, if people read the question correctly, which I'm hoping they did. We'll go through the lineups very soon for Scotland versus Germany. We're still waiting for that. And one more thing. This is the alleged Italy lineup for tomorrow. And that also reminds me of the Spanish team, which I also saw earlier today. So Donnarumma, Di Lorenzo, Calafiori, Bastoni, and DiMarco in a back four. And not a back three, as I discussed in my predicted lineups video and podcast. Jorginho and Barella together. So it looks like Barella is fit in time to play. Chiesa, Fratesi, Pellegrini behind Scamacca. So that could be quite interesting. But let me try get the Spain lineup as well. Just give me a second. Hold on. And keep on smashing the like button and subscribing for new. Our ambitious aim is to get this stream to over 500 likes and to get to 24,000 subscribers. We're getting very close to that milestone. So right now, we're literally just over 100 away. We've gained 50 subscribers in, half an hour? So I do appreciate that. Let's try to get to 24k by the end of this deadline stream and enjoy the opener between Germany and Scotland. So let me just get this Spanish team up as well, because people did correct me as well about the Spanish team yesterday. And I want to get that spot on now. Can I get it here? Yes, here we go. Okay, I think I've got it. Let me just get it up here on screen. Might take a while to load. Here we go. So Spain will likely go for Unai Simon in goal, Grimaldo, Nacho to take Laporte's place, Lenormand and Carvajal, a midfield three of Rodri, Dani Olmo and Pedri. So Olmo comes back into the starting 11, despite not featuring in recent friendlies. Nico Williams and Yamal as the two wingers, with Morata up front. This is according to Mundo Deportivo. Let's wait and see if that's accurate, but it's quite close to what I predicted overall. The one thing I got wrong is Laporte, because he's not fully fit and available, and I did discuss it actually in that podcast. I said if he's fit, he will be preferred over Nacho, but it doesn't seem like that will be the case. I'll leave it for a little while longer and then go back to my team, which isn't locked in, I do repeat. And thank you to the 600 or so that have tuned into the stream, and those that send in super chats, all the channel members and patrons as well. Be sure to keep on plugging away and getting this to over 500 likes. That is our ambitious aim for today. Let's now go back to my squad. And I think the midfield is going to experience some big changes, to say the least. Let's get back into the live chat as well. Let's see. Thoughts on Koundé? And I saw another question just now that says, is Koundé nailed? I think Koundé will play every game. There were occasions recently in friendlies and qualifiers where Klaus and Pavard played at right back, but Koundé is number one in that position. And he's quite good for ball recoveries, in my opinion. And I think one clean sheet is possible for France in the group stages. So I think he's fairly decent. That Spain centre-back partners aren't looking that good. Well, Nacho's quite underrated, to be fair. I think he's overlooked. And Lenormand, I don't know much about him, but I've heard good things. But Nacho, I think, is quite underrated. Yeah, Reinders might be the more advanced midfielder, actually, even compared to Veerman and Schutem, if that's what the Netherlands go for, in the absence of Koopmeiners and de Jong. So I think there can be some value there, but I'm not going to lie, Veerman is still my favourite Dutch midfielder, besides the obvious Xavi Simons if he starts. Chakvetadze, Van Dijk, or was that Bruno? Or Jorginho, Trent / Dumfries? I would go for Jorginho and Trent. Hi Dylan, what are the injuries for Italy? Great question. I'm going to try to remember this. So Barella was a doubt for match day 1, but it seems like he'll start. So there's no concerns there at the moment, according to Sky Italia, who are very reliable when it comes to the Italian national team. I think the other injuries have to do with, I think there was one, but I'm forgetting it right now. I do apologize. What was it? I'm going to have to double check that, but thank you for letting me know. This is the likely lineup for Italy tomorrow, so we'll wait and see. But yeah, 4-2-3-1 is what they could go for, or a hybrid of a 4-3-3. And yeah, Frattesi and Barella, despite having recent injury scares, should be in the starting 11. Let's now go to my team again. Hopefully it's not too much vertigo. We're changing around a lot. Need your opinion on Netherlands Veerman. I just did. He's got a decent record for the Netherlands, but doesn't score any goals. I think he's more of an assister, which is still fine. But of course, you would like some more goals in there. Zinchenko isn't completely nailed. So if Mykolenko is fit, we could have a scenario where either Zinchenko or Stepanenko, if I'm not mistaken, could be dropped. But if Mykolenko misses out due to injury, Zinchenko will definitely play at left back. And then you've got Stepanenko and Shrapenenko. I think those are the two. I might be getting Shrapenenko and Stepanenko confused, by the way. But yeah, I think Zinchenko will play. As for Dovbyk, there are some rumours he won't start, but I think he will. Yeah, Van Dijk is fine. I talked about him in the Best Defenders video on podcast. He's either first or second in terms of penalties, and for ball recoveries and clean sheets, he's pretty decent, especially ball recoveries. No Frimpong at the moment. I'm still open-minded. If I see something that says Frimpong starts, I'll probably get him, but until I get that sort of confirmation, I don't want to risk it, to be honest. John says, Dylan, while you deserve a break from content, we are lucky that you're not taking the summer off. Thank you. I appreciate it, John, and I also am very glad to hear that you're enjoying the content. And yeah, let's wait and see what happens today. I'll definitely be enjoying myself tonight and chilling a little bit, but I do appreciate the kind words, and obviously you're the longest channel member, and I do appreciate that very much. Sesko or Depay? Depay. He is a great option for the Netherlands. He's got a great record for them, so yeah, I'd go for Depay there, and thank you very much for the kind words. Do you think Widmer is nailed? I think he'll start. Is he 100% nailed on? Maybe not, but I think he will start. Best Formalian defender likely to start except Fass. I would go for Mittelstadt or Calafiori, who I just covered in the Italy lineup. It looks like he's going to start. Actually, let me correct myself there. I think he might be 4.5 million. Let me double check this for you. And I do apologize if I got that wrong. What the... Okay, I think the Euros website just played a video, so apologies for that sound. Yeah, let me double check the Calafiori. 1 second. Yeah, Calafiori is 4.5 million. Apologies for that. There were rumours that we could see a 4 million defender in Cambiasso start for Italy, but I don't think that'll be the case. So apart from Wout Fass, I'd probably say Mittelstadt, to be honest. Let me just double check if the Germany lineup is out already. Making sure that's muted, by the way. I don't want to have any bloody... What the hell? Oh. Okay. Yeah, no lineups so far. I will be keeping my eyes peeled on that. And yeah, right now we've got over 600 people watching. Like I said, let's get this stream to over 500 likes. And let's get to 24k subscribers by the end of the live stream. And let's get back into your questions again. Jesus. Evening, Dylan. Your thoughts on Sudakov, him or Shaqiri? Yeah, Sudakov is probably the best Ukraine midfielder, but I do prefer Shaqiri. My only issue with the Swiss is that he won't play every 3 or 4 days, so he'll likely start in match day 1 and be benched in match day 2 when you probably want him to start, actually. Well, of course you do. Widmer or Cher? I'd say Widmer. Zinchenko plays midfield for Ukraine. I know that, but the reason I said that is because Zinchenko typically plays as a central midfielder, but there is a chance that he's dropped for the likes of Stepanenko and Shrapenenko, who could be the 2 holding midfielders. But what I'm saying is, if Mykolenko misses out, then Zinchenko is nailed on to start because he can be slotted in at left back like he does for Arsenal. Gundogan and Wirtz, or should I swap one of the 2 for Eriksen? I'd probably go for Wirtz, but Eriksen definitely appeals to me, I'm not going to lie. Szoboszlai or Xavi Simons? Szoboszlai for me. Any other 7 million midfielder? Eriksen. would be one of them, and potentially Gundogan. Where can I see the best place for ball recoveries? You can't really, because the ball recovery section in Euro Fantasy is for this tournament, and obviously no game has been played yet, so we don't know the best ball recoveries from that perspective. But I have talked about this in my videos and podcasts and highlighted some potential good ball recoverers like Van Dijk, for example, and Koundé. But of course, I do understand what you're trying to say there. Great stream. Goalkeeper and Trossard versus Saka and Wout Fass. Limitless free wildcard 5. Thank you very much. Quite tricky, but I'd probably go for Fass and Saka. But I have to say that is extremely close. Shaqiri or Jorginho? For matchday 1, I'd say Shaqiri, but as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, he's not nailed on to play every 3 or 4 days. We could see him being benched. Smash the like button to thank Dylan for the incredible Euro 2024 content. Thank you very much, John. That's massively appreciated. Isn't Depay like 5 or 10 goals away? Yes, I think it's 9. 9 goals away. And even with the assists, he's got 20 or 30. And, you know, that's a good segue. Let's get into the player graphics again. And let's get into Memphis Depay. Where are you? Where are you? Let's get Depay up here on screen. So yeah, Depay has 92 games for the Netherlands, 46 goals and 30 assists. He's closing in on Robin van Persie's record, and in terms of being the all-time international goal scorer for the Netherlands, which is incredible. He's a massive differential, and I do like him for match days 1 and 3 against Poland and Austria. He hasn't been great for his club, but he always steps up for his country. So yeah, Memphis Depay is a great option. And let's speak about Kai Havertz today, who obviously is going to start for Germany. That's confirmed by Julian Nagelsmann. In 46 games for Germany, he has 16 goals and 14 assists, and for Arsenal in the run-in, he really stepped up with 21 goal contributions across all competitions. The ownership figures, by the way, will be outdated for a lot of these graphics, so just bear that in mind, but the rest should be up to date in terms of stats and prices and what they've done for their club. And the fixtures look quite decent. You could argue Hungary is a difficult fixture, and that could be changed to grey, which I did in my updated lineups video and podcast as well. But Havertz is still a good option, and the same goes for Dovbyk, who I've been asked about, and some people think he might be benched. I don't think that'll be the case. I'd be very surprised if they bench the La Liga Golden Boot winner, who in 28 games for Ukraine has 10 goals and 4 assists as well. Let's go back to my team, which is still in need of some renovation, I'd say. There's still a few things to change there. So with the Kupo, there's not really too much to say. He's a 4.5 million left back. He might have a bit of attacking potential, but I do prefer Wout Fass, I think, in terms of ball recoveries and the value. You save $500,000 on the Kuiper, but he's still quite decent. I'd rather go for the Kuiper over Castagna and save value there as well. But yeah, when I'm ranking Belgium defenders or defensive assets, it would be Wout Fass first, the Kuiper second, probably Castile's third, and Castagna fourth. Honest thoughts on Ronaldo? I think you asked this earlier and I mentioned it. I answered your question. I think Lukaku is a better option, not a better player. I just think in terms of minutes, Lukaku has a bit more certainty about him. And with Ronaldo, it wouldn't surprise me if in one game during the group stages he was subbed off early or didn't start. But if you're asking me, I think Ronaldo starts against Turkey, Georgia, and Czech Republic, but he might be subbed off earlier in 2 of those matches. Captain Tar or Mittelstadt to start? Probably Mittelstadt. I don't think Mbappe misses out. That's why he's in my team. Hi Dylan, good to see you, Beardy. For Spain, Yamal or Rodri? Well, with Yamal, he's more exciting, isn't he? Rodri's a bit more of a safer pick, but I'd probably go for Yamal. Hey Dylan, great work as always. What changes to your team are you considering? So I'd say Trossard, basically my midfield. Shaqiri, Trossard, and probably Højbjerg are the most likely to make way. I'm still open to buying a Cristiano Ronaldo, Havertz, or Dovbyk up front, and that could give me enough money to go for De Bruyne's and other players like that in my midfield. But yeah, I think those are the main changes really. So Trossard, Shaqiri, and Højbjerg, I'd say. Thoughts on Trent? I talked about him a lot in the team selection. I still think he's a good pick, but Mark Gay potentially offers better value for money. Yeah, I think if Havertz was a midfielder, I'd be going for him. Yeah, I think that's a good point. But he is typically a striker for the German national team. Which Swiss defender? Fabian Schär might not start. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but there is the possibility of Elvedi, Akanji and Ricardo Rodriguez being the 3 centre-backs, with Ndoye and Widmer being the 2 wing-backs. So I'd probably say Akanji is my favourite at 5 million. Best 4.5 million defender, the Goalkeeper. If we're talking specifically at 4.5 million, I do prefer Wout Faes and potentially Mittelstadt as well. And you've also got Mark Gay. You should give up Mbappe for Dovbyk and put KDB and Jorginho. To be fair, I could also bring in KDB and Jorginho by downgrading Shaqiri to the Italian and buying KDB for Trossard. But yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. I could also upgrade other areas as well. Yeah, if Yamal was a midfielder, I'd have him in my team, definitely. Even more so than Havertz. Eduardo Ferreira says, hey Dylan, what do you think about this defence? Trent, Van Dijk, DeMarco, Mittelstadt, Faes. I like it a lot. Yeah, I really have no issues with it whatsoever. The only thing is, if you don't have Diogo Costa in goal, and I think you do, but if you don't, I would recommend a Portuguese defensive coverage in general. Rafael Leao or Lukaku? Definitely Lukaku for me. What's your current chip strategy? I covered this in the chip strategy guide, and I mentioned it in drafts and team selections, but my current plan is to use the Limitless in the group stages no matter what, in Matchday 2 or 3. Now, with a wild card, I'm open-minded to using it in Matchday 5, so that isn't locked in, and I've said this time after time again, but it's probably between Matchday 3 or 5 to use the wild card and the Limitless in Matchday 2 or 3. Does Mailer pique your interest? A little bit, but there is the possibility of rotation there with Christensen at left wing-back, and you've got Bar from Benfica, who could be the main right wing-back. So I don't think Mailer is completely nailed on, but he was in my starting lineup in both videos, and I think he's quite decent, but 5.5 million seems a bit steep in my opinion. The Germany lineup is out, thank you. If it's out on the UEFA website, I'll be showing it on screen right now. It isn't, but maybe I'll just get it up on Twitter. So I appreciate that. And by the way, if you see any news, whether it's about Theo Hernandez or teams for tomorrow, be sure to let me know. But yeah, Deutschland, yeah, I just saw it. It's now out. So let's switch this screen. And let's see if Mittelstadt starts. So Manuel Neuer is in goal. Rudiger, Tah, Kimmich, Havertz, Kroos, Musiala, Wirtz, Mittelstadt, Gundogan and Andrik. So a good start. Every single player is spot on from the 2 predicted lineups videos. Let's see if I get the Scotland lineup spot on as well. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna invite you to praise or whatever. It's kind of, I'd say, obvious, and a lot of people did also talk about this predicted lineup. But yeah, no big surprises. Mittelstadt starts. Oh dear, his ownership is going to be quite massive in Euro Fantasy, isn't it? But Germany's lineup is out. Gundogan is the captain and potentially the main penalty taker for Germany. So thank you very much to. Let me just get the name for the person who reminded me. Thank you to Hugo for letting me know. Like I mentioned before, it's not my final team. I'm going to overthink it towards the end, and I'll probably make further changes, to be honest. I'll try to lock it in as soon as possible, but yeah, I can't guarantee anything. Gonzalo says, as a Portuguese guy, I don't understand why people trust the Portugal defence so much. I don't think we'll get many clean sheets. Oh, fair enough. Look, your group was quite easy in the qualifiers, wasn't it? But you only considered 2 goals, which is still very impressive, irrespective of the opposition. And with your group, I think it's very favourable. I could see 1 or 2 clean sheets very easily. So I think it's a mixture of that, your qualifying form and your fixtures, which is why people want to go for Cancelo, Diogo Costa, and potentially Gonzalo Inacio if he starts as well. Sí, creo que Mbappé va a jugar. Estaba enfermo, por eso no entrenó el otro día, pero creo que va a jugar en contra Austria. Bob says the Goalkeeper and Faes, or Faes and a different 4.5 million defender. Yeah, I'd go for a different defender, which is why I've gone for Mark Gay. Wetbread says, hey Dylan, Gundogan and Wirtz, or should I swap one of the 2 for Eriksen? I'd probably swap one of them for Eriksen. That's just me though. And of course, there are some cons with going for Eriksen, which is the Matchday 2 fixture against England, which maybe I'm wrong about, and Eriksen cooks. But yeah, I would probably swap one of them for Eriksen. And at the moment, I prefer keeping Wirtz and selling Gundogan. But remember, Gundogan is potentially on penalties. Wirtz or Mittelstadt as captain? Probably Wirtz, but Mittelstadt is still a decent option. Isn't Koundé a sure shot start? I think he will start, but he's not absolutely guaranteed to start every single game. So, for example, if France beat Austria and the Netherlands, they could rotate Matchday 3, and I think you could see Pavard or Klaus as the right back. On the app, they're showing Gay as injured. I'll double check that, but I'm not really sure why that's the case. Probably because against Iceland, he came off with, well, no, he didn't actually come off. He had an injury scare during the game. Yeah, but thank you for letting me know. I don't think he's, what's it called? I don't think he's flagged in the game right now. So yeah, I'll have another look later on. But yeah, that's the Germany lineup. We'll go for the Scotland one very soon once that's out. But for now, let's go to my team. And there are still a few changes I want to make. So in the next hour, let's get the stream to over 500 likes. And let's also reach 24,000 subscribers. It'd be a great way to, to celebrate the opener of Euro 2024. It'd be massively appreciated. So let's be sure to get to that milestone. And yeah, let me just see if the Scotland lineup is out. No, it isn't, unfortunately. And let's see how we're doing in terms of subscribers. Yeah, we have made more progress. Wow, we're actually just 70 away now. And I think the way things are going, we can reach 24,000 today. So be sure to do so. And you know what? Now is as good time as ever to give 10 memberships. I'm going to give 5 now and 5 later on. So hopefully I can do it on this browser. So yeah, I'm going to give 5 memberships now. And let's read out the names. And by the way, if you are one of those lucky 5 people, be sure to go to the community tab and see what my team is at the moment. So Man United is finished. Tommy's Raw, Callum Jr., Miguel Costa and Hugo. I have to say, deserved for those 5 with a lot of contributions to the chat. And yeah, enjoy the memberships. You'll get early access to my videos for an entire month. And also you will gain, well, you'll see my teams whenever, and you'll be the first people to know what my team is looking like for Euro Fantasy, FPL and UCL Fantasy. Hi Dylan, Calhanoglu or a German midfielder? And what's the best German midfielder? Thank you. I'd probably go for Calhanoglu. I just like that Matchday 1 fixture against Georgia. As for the best German midfielder, probably Wirtz for me. But he's only got 1 goal for the national team. For Netherlands defenders, my favourite is Van Dijk. Frimpong is second. There are rumours that Frimpong will start, but he's not nailed on. And if he starts in Matchday 1, I don't think he does in Matchday 2 or 3. Well, there's still another 5 memberships to give Passive, so maybe you'll be the lucky one next time. Captain Mittelstadt or Gundogan? I'd go for Gundogan. Penalty taker, the odd ball recovery point, and I think he can get something today. Trent and Tar or Hernandez and Gay? Probably Hernandez and Gay, but it's also the more riskier pick with Hernandez being flagged. Thank you, Rooney. Wayne Rooney. Carl says Coach Spain, De La Fuente or Netherlands Koeman? I'm not so sure about that. Probably De La Fuente. Havertz or Wirtz for the captain armband? I'd probably go for Wirtz, actually. I think I'd go for Wirtz. I'm not sure why. I've just got a good feeling about him today, and I'm not going for him. Will Saka start? Yes. I've been asked this a lot, and Saka has won the England Player of the Year in back-to-back years. He's got a better record than Foden and Bellingham for the national team. If anything, I'd say Foden is the least nailed of the 3 attackers. If I'm wrong, fair enough, but I honestly think Saka will start. Yo, appreciate it for the gift membership. No worries, Tommy Raw. Enjoy it, and be sure to check out the community tab on YouTube to see what my team is at the moment. And I think there's just 2 changes from what you see on screen. Will Gundogan start in Matchday 2? Yeah, I think so. Gundogan's the captain. He's nailed on for Germany. I mean, he should do. Hey, Dylan, Xavi Simon's a good pick. If he starts, yeah, I think he's a really good pick, but that's the big problem. And for the Netherlands, he only has 1 goal in 14 games. I was on another page but got back by Wayne Rooney scream. Yeah, sorry, it's inspired by Clive Tilsley, legendary commentator. Thoughts on Nico Williams? I saw someone with him earlier when they posted their team, and he could be a nice differential. He's got a lot of potential as a player, but I'm just a bit unsure about him compared to other players at that price point. Please say Pedro Porro. There you go. Some people hate it, by the way. They're like, why are you trying to be Spanish? Well, I speak Spanish at home, all right? Weird flex, but okay, whatever. I'm just being honest. Castille's good option. Yes, but I do prefer Wout Faes to cover that Belgium defence, and even Goalkeeper, who's 4.5 million at left back. I don't think Mudryk is a good choice, to be honest. I'd rather go for Sudakov, who's 6.5 million, or Dovbyk up front. Szoboszlai or Calhanoglu? I'm going for Szoboszlai at the moment. We need a Stevie G impression now. Gerard! Oh, you beauty! Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful moment. Not the best impression, but I've got better ones in there, which we're not going to get into right now because it's a Euro Fantasy stream. Dovbyk or Depay? Dovbyk for me. And that's mainly because of the fixtures for the first 2 match days. So yeah, I'd go for Dovbyk. They're both good, though. Cancelo or Van Dijk for 6 million? Cancelo. Hey Dylan, would you captain Havertz or Mittelstadt? I did say Mittelstadt the other day in my latest draft video, but I'm not going to lie, I think I'd go for Havertz now. That's one thing I'd change. The Goalkeeper, Gay and Rodri, or Fas, Jorginho and Cancelo? Great question. I'd probably go for Fas, Jorginho and Cancelo, which is what I've got at the moment. Jorginho, Lukaku, De Bruyne or Shaqiri, Havertz, Trossard? Jorginho, Lukaku and De Bruyne for me. Very close, and I've got a similar dilemma myself. Callum Jr. says team consists of Kane, Lukaku, Mbappe, Kvaratskhelia, Sudakov, Bruno, Gundogan, Jorginho, Cancelo, DeMarco, Trent, Fas, Mittelstadt, Lunin and Costa. Plan is to keep this team for 2 match days. In that case, I think it's a very well thought out team, and I don't think you've got a weakness per se. Yes, there might be some question marks about Kvaratskhelia, Sudakov and Jorginho, but they're still decent options for me. Yeah, I think Mbappe starts. He was ill, remember. Some people are asking, is he injured? No, it's an illness. Bruno or Foden? Definitely Bruno for me. Moldovan or Stanek? Is it Stanek? Or Pence? I think Pence is probably my favourite for match days 2 and 3. I don't like him for match day 1, and to be fair, the Netherlands isn't easy either. But I think Austria is the best of the 3 teams, actually. Maybe in terms of fixtures, actually, when I'm looking at it, maybe Czech Republic is the best, so you'd go for Stanek. I think it's... I might have to check the name again. But, you know what? I'm going to go for Stanek, I think, just because of the fixtures. Gundogan or Cancelo... Gundogan or Havertz for captain? Havertz, I think. Fratesi, thoughts, please? He had an injury scare recently, but he should start, and I think he's all right. I don't think it's a great option. It's really just for match day 1, and that's it. My favourite Italy asset is DeMarco, which I've covered before. Ronaldo versus Kane. I'm warming up to Ronaldo, there's no doubt about it, but I think I'm going to go for Harry Kane here. Best midfielder under 6.5 million. Shaqiri, Rodri, McTominay or Arda Güler. I think Arda Güler could have a breakout tournament, but he's not nailed on to start. The other day actually came on as a substitute, and he doesn't start every game for Turkey. So my favourite would be Shaqiri, but for match day 1 only. If you just want a safe and set and forget option, then go for Rodri. So yeah, it's between Shaqiri and Rodri for me, and I'm currently going for Shaqiri. Thoughts on Depay, Limitless 2. I like him a lot against Poland and also against Austria. Yeah, Baumgartner's an underrated pick. The problem is he faces France in match day 1, but yeah, I think he's a very underrated one. I think someone else pointed him out earlier, a Spanish speaker, might have been Carlos. Which one do you prefer, Szoboszlai or Shaqiri? Szoboszlai. Trossard or Wirtz? I'd say Trossard. You think Theo will start in match day 1? Yeah, I think so. I'm not completely convinced though, but I think he will. Currently considering dropping KDB for Trossard to free up funds, but got the feeling I'd get punished so much. Yes, I'm in 2 minds about that myself, and I'm switching between the 2. I've currently got KDB. Lots of people questioning Jorginho. Personally, I think he's better than the 4.5 or Serin. Yeah, I think so too. But there are some potential gems around 5 to 5.5 million who can get a lot of ball recoveries as well. So yeah, it's not easy to kind of settle on that. Best midfielder under 7 million. Very difficult to answer that question, but Kalinoglu springs to mind. That's for sure. And Shaqiri. Yeah, Güler might play. You might be right, Ignacio. It's just... there is a chance he is on the bench and is an impact sub for Turkey. But in my original predicted lineups video, I had him as the cam, but he can also play as a right midfielder. Yeah, Lunin should start. Is Vargas a good option, says Gonzalo Martins. He's okay. Once again, I think there are better alternatives. So I'm mainly looking at Dovbyk, Havertz, Depay, and then of course you've got the premiums. But yeah, I think he's all right. And of course, in terms of value, he might save you a lot of money there. I'd probably go for Wirtz as captain. I'll try not to go through this question too many times because I have covered it already. Neski says Jorginho versus Chak Vitadze. I'd go for Jorginho. Captain Cruz, Gundogan or Mittelstadt? Gundogan. Are you most locked in for Trossard or Szoboszlai? Szoboszlai. Højbjerg or Shaqiri, says Bajaraz. I'd say Højbjerg, just because of value. Foden or Musiala? I'd say Foden. Best captain for match day 1? Remember, the way captaincy works in Euro Fantasy is you captain a player on each day. And for today, I'd probably recommend either Wirtz or Havertz. And then for tomorrow, I think DeMarco really stands out. And then you've got the likes of Harry Kane, I think, on the 16th. And then the likes of Mbappe or Lukaku on the 17th. And then Ronaldo or Bruno Fernandes on the 18th. You think Euros is more of a chance to be risky and have fun over UCL since it's shorter and there's always surprises? Yeah, but to be fair with UCL Fantasy, I've gone for a lot of differentials myself, and people do that anyway. And that's why I prefer UCL Fantasy over FPL, because the template is less strong there. But yeah, definitely have fun with the Euros. That's the most important thing. And players like Shaqiri, for example, who've been quite poor for their clubs this season, they always turn up for their countries. So yeah, I think having a risk can definitely pay off. Just be a bit careful and, moderate. You don't want to go for too many injury doubts or rotation risks like Frimpong and to have that littered throughout your team. Yet prices do change throughout the tournament, as covered in my How to Play guide. They start to change from Matchday 3 onwards. And by the way, thank you to John for moderating the chat. Don't spam the chat, otherwise you will be timed out. Ronaldo, Foden, Christensen versus Kane, Eriksen, Cancelo. I would go for the latter three, Kane, Eriksen and Cancelo. There's not really much to discuss about Mbappe. He missed training due to illness. He should be available for Matchday 1. No, Saka's not injured. He just came back from one. He should be fine. Thank you, Badraz. Yeah, it's now 7:04. So let's go through the Scotland lineup too. And let's see if we got that right. There might be one or two inaccuracies, let's say. Oh, Jesus. UEFA, what are you doing? They're trying to copyright me. All right, so Scotland have gone for Gunn in goal, Ralston, Robertson, McTominay, Tierney, McGinn, McGregor, Adams, Christie, Hendry and Porteous. So far so good. Both lineups correct from both my original predicted lineups video and podcast and the recent one which was uploaded yesterday. So yeah, there's a bit of value to be had, no? In my videos, a bit, just a little bit. Unless I'm chatting crap. Is there something I got wrong? Oh, Christie. Yeah, okay, I almost got carried away there. So Christie's the only change there. Everything else is spot on for Germany and Scotland. So fair enough, I got that one wrong. I hold my hands up, but it doesn't cost you because you've got the lineup now. Make sure to make any changes if you did get a Scotland player who is on the bench. So there you go. One wrong out of 24, so 22, I can't even count now. It's a good start, I'd say. So the Germany and Scotland lineups are out. No surprises whatsoever if you see my predicted lineups for Germany. And Gundogan's the captain, the likely penalty taker. And there we go. I'll leave that on for a little while longer. Yeah, thank you, John, for moderating the chat again. Lineups is out for me on SofaScore. Yeah. When it's 1 hour before the kickoff, the lineups will be out by then. So yeah, I appreciate those that reminded me. Yeah, Mbappe should start. Karam says Kane and Shaqiri or Ronaldo and Foden. I'd say Ronaldo and Foden. Trent and Wirtz versus Musiala and Gay. Trent and Wirtz for me. Leah or Lay? Yeah, Leah. I'm just stupid. Jude or KDB? Definitely KDB for me. Is your lineup or not? Will you change any players? It is my lineup. I think there's 2 changes at the moment, which channel members and patrons can see. I will likely lock in my final team. Well, hopefully soon. I'd say in 30-40 minutes, I'll start to lock in my final squad. Stones injury, Verbruggen or Lunin? Stones returned to training yesterday, so he should be fine. Verbruggen or Lunin? I'm currently going for the Dutchman, Verbruggen. Why take Højbjerg for Mainu? Because Mainu might not start. It looks like it'll be Declan Rice and Trent as the 2 midfielders, and Højbjerg has more attacking potential than Mainu for the national team. What has Jorginho actually done for Italy recently? It's also because of ball recoveries, and he could be the main penalty taker. And he's 5 million, let's not forget. It's not like I'm going for Jorginho over, let's say, Szoboszlai, and they're both priced at the same. I'm going for Jorginho to facilitate the likes of Szoboszlai and De Bruyne's and Bruno Fernandez's of the world. Also, Mittelstadt plus Tar double up. I think it's a bit too much, personally. It might work out for Matchday 1, but I think Hungary and Switzerland are difficult fixtures. Leao or Dembele? Probably Rafael Leao if he starts. Welcome, Akash. Szoboszlai or Gundogan, says Ruben. Probably Szoboszlai for me. Theo Hernandez will play. Yeah, I think so. Bella Mendy for the bench. He won't start. No, I don't think so. It'll be Koundé and Theo Hernandez as the main fullbacks, unless Theo Hernandez isn't 100% to play, which is a possibility, but I don't think that'll be the case. Who will be a good combination with Gundogan and Mittelstadt? Havertz or Wirtz? Well, both of them. If I had to pick one, I'd actually probably go for Havertz, because you can then go for some alternatives in the midfield like De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. Thinking of getting rid of Jorginho or Xhaka. They're both decent for ball recoveries for their country, but they're not the best in terms of goal contributions, so it's quite difficult. I'd actually rather get rid of Xhaka because there's a 1 million difference in price. Taquito says Sudakov and Gula or Saka and Jorginho. Saka and Jorginho for me. They're both good duos, but there's a slight chance that Arda Güler doesn't start. Hi Dylan, Dumfries or Trent? Trent for me. Thoughts on Tar and Mittelstadt double up? Yeah, as I just covered with Wasif's question, it's not bad. It's just I'm not a big fan of Germany's defensively, and they've got 2 tough fixtures in this group for me. Maino is such a fraud. I disagree. He's got a lot of potential. It's just in Euro Fantasy, I'm not backing him to score that many goals or get many assists. And with ball recoveries, he might get the odd ball recovery point here and there, but there are better options in my opinion. Best 6 million mid, difficult to say really. I think Højbjerg's up there. You're also looking at Xhaka's up there as well. But yeah, it's quite difficult to nail down one exact option because, yeah, I just really think there's a few, I'd say, surprise packages and under-the-radar picks that even I haven't covered in my videos. Thank you, FPL Manic, for asking. So there is a link in the description for my Patreon. So you just click that link, and the link itself is patreon.com/DylanRCM, and then you can just become a channel member or patron, and you can gain access to my videos early, sometimes days in advance or even a week in advance, depending on the context. And you can also see my team before anybody else. And my current squad, and there's 2 changes from what you see on screen, is actually currently up on there as well. And I'll try to lock in my team soon because there are so many questions to keep on top of. And I'll post it for channels and patrons first, and then show everybody else and prevent copying too. Thank you, Alexander, for becoming a differential. That's massively appreciated. You can go to the community tab and check out my current team and let me know what you think as well. Xhaka, the red card merchant, he has toned it down a little bit recently, but yeah, he is a feisty one. Feisty one, you are? It's too much in between as in Star Wars. Is Di Lorenzo and DeMarco Italy double up a good idea for Matchday 1? Yes. For Matchday 1, I'm completely on board. Not beyond that, though. Sudakov or Shaqiri? I prefer Shaqiri for Matchday 1. And yes, they do clash, so to speak, Szoboszlai and Shaqiri in the same match, but they can still both haul in the same game. Now, I've currently gone away from Shaqiri, but that is one of the few changes I've made currently, and I'll try to make more. I'll probably make more changes in the next hour or so. Dumfries and Costa or Cancelo and Verbruggen? Cancelo and Verbruggen for me, which is what I've gone for. Xavi Simons or Szoboszlai? I'm going for Szoboszlai at the moment, but I'm not going to lie. If we got confirmation that Xavi Simons starts, I'd go for him. Maignan or Costa? Costa. Thoughts on Dalot? He might not start. It could be Nuno Mendes and Cancelo as the 2 fullbacks. So Diogo Dalot might get 1 start out of the 3 games, but I don't think he's nailed on. I'm missing out on other midfielders if I go for Foden, Saka, Gundogan, Wirtz and Vitinha. It's a good midfield, but naturally there are some big midfielders you're missing out on, particularly Bruno Fernandes and De Bruyne. Your thoughts on Vitinha as a 6 million midfielder? He's decent. I think he can get the odd ball recovery point. He was actually quite impressive in UCL Fantasy. He got the odd goal in the knockout stages. But yeah, around 6 million, I think he's not really a standout, so to speak. I think he could be one of the better options at that price point, but he's not like an amazing option, a must-have or something like that. And from the Portugal midfield, it's Bruno Fernandes really, but there is a massive difference in price. I can replace Kvaratskhelia with Szoboszlai, then transfer him to McTominay in Matchday 2. Yeah, McTominay is quite good for Scotland. In the qualifiers, he was really impressive, but I'm not so sure if McTominay will do it here in the group stages. I could be wrong, and your plan is actually a good one, and it could really work out, but I'm not sure about McTominay per se. Georgie says he answers so many of your questions. Appreciate the hard work by liking the stream. Thank you very much. That's massively appreciated, mate. Kane and Wirtz or Saka and Lukaku? That is very difficult, but I'd probably go for Saka and Lukaku. I just really back Lukaku. Theo will play. Is he injured? He had a small knock after the Canada game very recently, but he was in training yesterday and he posted on socials and he put the eye emoji, I think. I think he's going to play. Hi Dylan, yet another great work. Congratulations, mate. Thank you very much. Ask Stravadan. Thoughts on the midfield? Bruno, Gundogan, Kvaratskhelia, Bruno and Shaqiri. Very solid. Shaqiri is a big issue beyond Matchday 1. I don't think he starts all 3 match days, but for Matchday 1 specifically, he looks very impressive. And the same goes for the rest of the midfield. You did say Bruno Fernandes twice. I'm wondering who your 5th midfielder is. Fass or Gay? Fass. They're both good options, but I think Fass is slightly better. CR7 and Gundogan or KDB and Havertz? Probably KDB and Havertz, but it's very close. Is it crazy I'm going to go without Mbappe and Kane? I just don't want to use the same players as everyone else. That's fine. It is risky. I'm not going to deny that. But you can go against those two with Lukaku, Cristiano Ronaldo, Dovbyk, Havertz, Depay. There are alternatives in this position. Cancelo, Trent plays more than 60 minutes. Cancelo will play more than 60 minutes. With Trent, there is the possibility he is subbed out around 60 or even perhaps beforehand, but he will be playing in midfield, not a right back. Sudakov or Dovbyk? Dovbyk for me. Best 5 million defenders. Castagna is one of the better ones. I also like John Stones. Koundé is also a decent one. I think those three are the main standouts, so to speak, and potentially Pepe, but he's not nailed on for Portugal. Is Dumfries safe to pick? I think he'll start, but I wouldn't say he's safe. My fifth is Szoboszlai. Yeah, very good midfield there, Wasif. I don't really have many issues with it. I'm downgrading the marker to fast in Matchday 2. Yeah, that's absolutely fan. Yeah, I think that's really good. Mbappe is ill? Yes, he missed training due to illness. He should play, in my opinion. It's my opinion, of course. Take it with a pinch of salt, but I'm very confident. Costa, Gundogan and Trent, or Pickford, Cancelo and Çalhanoğlu. Both great trios, but I'd probably go for Pickford, Cancelo and Çalhanoğlu. Hernandez or Cancelo? I'd go for Cancelo. Steve7 says Gundogan or Wirtz? Wirtz for me, but Gundogan is on penalties. Trossard and Wirtz or KDB and Güler? Trossard and Wirtz. Camavinga will start, or another option around the same price. I think he'll start. It should be him and Kante, but there is the possibility that Rabiot starts instead of Camavinga. Vargas, Jorginho or anyone else at 6 million or below? Højbjerg. I do like Højbjerg actually at 5.5 million. He's scored in his last 2 or 3 games for Denmark now, and he's got 10 goals and 10 assists for his entire international career. Theo Hernandez is injured. So, well, let me rephrase. Theo Hernandez was injured, but he returned to full training yesterday. Mbappe is ill, but he should be available for Matchday 1. Van Dijk and Fernandes, meaning I got no England in my team, or Saka and Cancelo, or who is the best, Foden or Saka, for Matchday 1. I'd go for Van Dijk and Fernandes, but I think they're all viable options. Rodrigo Silva says Dumfries, Frimpong or Mailer. I'd go for Dumfries, but if you're backing Frimpong to start, yeah, he's the standout. There's no doubt about it, but I'm just a bit worried about his minutes, and that's why I'd go for Denzel Dumfries. Saka and Dumfries or KDB and 4.5 million defender. I'd go for KDB and a 4.5 million defender. Sudakov, solid option, yes, but I'm not going for him at the moment. Saka and Kroos or Rice and Musiala. Saka and Kroos. Quite close though. Kroos or Rodri. I was asked this earlier and I've gone for Rodri. Hi, long time no see. Good to be back. The tournament finally starting today. Back in business, yeah? I don't think there's much hype about Euros in general. I'm talking beyond Euro fantasy and stuff like that. But because I've kind of made stats and, you know, made all these videos, I've kind of been really immersed in it. So I'm actually quite excited for the opener today. It should be a good game. Lunin and Theo Hernandez or Diogo Costa and Koundé. I would go for Diogo Costa and Koundé. Let me just have a quick look at how we're doing with subscribers. We're getting very close to 24k. We are now 24 subscribers away. It's just the magic number today. Euro 2024, 24k, and we're now 24 subscribers away. So let's get to that milestone. And once we get to 24,000, I'll be gifting 5 more memberships. So early in the stream, 5 new viewers were granted the channel memberships for an entire month. And now, once we get to that milestone, I'll be gifting another 5 as we celebrate 24,000 subscribers. All your support is massively appreciated. Thank you very much to the patrons and the channel members, and also to those that have been watching my Euro Fantasy content and also FPL UCL Fantasy throughout the years. And anyone else to thank? My parents, you know? No, I forgot. I actually probably forgot. I do apologize for that. The super chatters, how can I forget? And someone sent in a super thanks yesterday on my video. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for doing that. My English is very terrible at the moment. Yeah, let's get back to your questions. Oh, Jesus, have I been on the screen for that long? I do apologize. I do apologize for that. Yeah, we've had it up to here about Scotland and Germany. The lineups we've covered extensively. Yeah, we've currently got almost 700 people watching. Let's try to get this stream to 500 likes. That'd be massively appreciated, or at least as close as we can get to that. But the big aim is 24k subscribers. So yeah, I will be making some more changes, I think, and I'll try to confirm that as soon as possible. Yeah, Xavi Simons, if he starts, I like him a lot, but he's not guaranteed to start, and there are rumours that Frimpong will get the nod over him at right wing. Who are the best 4.5 million defenders? The Goalkeeper from Belgium is probably my favourite, and Mark Gay. Now you might be thinking, well, why don't you have the Goalkeeper then? It's because I want to balance my defence as much as possible and only go for one defensive double up, and at the moment that's Portugal. And I've gone for Wout Faes to cover the Belgian defence. So yeah, I'd say the Goalkeeper and Gay are the two best. Widmer or Tah? I'd go for Jonathan Tah. Saka and Lukaku, or Kane and Sudakov? Saka and Lukaku. Grimaldo is a good pick against Albania, but not against Croatia Matchday 1 or when Spain face Italy. Why did they put Kimmich in the back? He plays right back, and I covered this in my predicted lineups videos and podcasts, so he is out of position in a negative sense. He's classified as a midfielder in Euro Fantasy, but he'll be playing even further back. Captain Gundogan or Wirtz? I'd go for Wirtz, but once again, I have to reiterate, Gundogan is very likely to play, to be on penalties, should I say. Thank you, Soldier Boy. And by the way, we might as well get into this. Make sure to join the FPL Dylan, aka the Dylan RCM League. The code is JCRHjQ. There is an auto-join link in the description below, and also check out the other links like my Twitter and Instagram, Dylan RCM, also the Patreon and Championships, as well as the Discord server. So all of your fantasy formats are covered: FPL, UCL Fantasy, Euros, World Cup, etc. And also my Spotify, and a lot of you have been supporting that, so thank you very much. Follow me on Spotify and leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way to supporting the channel. And yeah, my predictor, for those that aren't aware, I've gone for 2-0 Germany with Havertz to score first, but I might change that, to be honest. There's a lot of predictions I'll probably change. I did very well in UCL Fantasy for the predictions, but I'm hoping I can replicate that in Euro Fantasy as well, or in the Euros, should I say. So just to also reiterate some polls I put out. The best premium defender, Cancelo, has won this vote. I don't think he'll be caught up. So 46% there. Trent is second, with Van Dijk third and Theo Hernandez in fourth. The other option is last. In terms of this duo question, which also is in relation to my squad, De Bruyne and Jorginho is winning the vote instead of Trossard and either Shaqiri or Çalhanoğlu. And the final poll I've put out so far on my YouTube channel is, which forward would you drop? And 39% of you have gone for Cristiano Ronaldo, Mbappe second with 28%, Harry Kane third with 22%, and Lukaku is last with 11%. So a lot of you are really favouring Romelu Lukaku. And just to reiterate as well, because this was covered around an hour ago now, Italy will likely go for this lineup according to Sky Italia, with Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Calafiori, Bastoni and DiMarco as the back four, Jorginho and Barella, who has just returned from an injury, Chiesa, Fratesi and Pellegrini just behind Scamacca, and also with Spain, I think there's two changes from the update lineups video from yesterday, and that's to do with Dani Olmo and Nacho, who come in for the likes of Marino and Laporte, who is currently injured, and that's why Nacho is favoured. So Unai Simon, Grimaldo, Nacho, Lenormand, Carvajal, Rodri, Dani Olmo, Pedri, Nico Williams, Yamal, and Morata. So there you go. I've covered this again. And of course, we did cover the Germany and Scotland lineups. I got one wrong, and that was from Scotland, and Christie is starting, but everything else was spot on. The Germany one was probably the easiest to predict of any nation, I have to say. But no surprises there. Mittelstadt, a 4 million defender, starts. Gundogan, the main penalty taker, is the captain. And we've got Kai Havertz up front. So let's go back to my team. And like I said, I'll try to make some changes, notify chambers and patrons first, and then show it to all subscribers. Because honestly, I'm an overthinker, unfortunately, when it comes to Euro Fantasy. Hopefully I haven't missed any other big questions from chambers and patrons. Dylan, is Manyan out? Oh yeah, the way you said Manyan. Manyan is available. He should be. He recently returned. My big issue with Manyan is he's fairly injury prone. Nuclear actually did bring in KDB, but as I mentioned, I have made a few changes which chambers and patrons can check out by clicking those respective links. Will Trossard start? I think so. My midfielders are Saka, Fernandes, Trossard, Jorginho, Gundogan. Any changes? It's a very solid midfield, but yeah, there's always a few players that you could also look to bring in, like Kevin De Bruyne, but it's very difficult to do that. I prefer Wirtz over Gundogan, but it's very close. Hello, I'm sure you already talked about it, but what's the case of Mbappe? He missed training due to illness. He should be available for Matchday 1. And will Frimpong start? There are rumours he will. In my predicted lineup, I didn't have Frimpong in there. And even if he does start in Matchday 1, I don't think that'll be the case for Matchday 2 or 3. Van Dijk or Depay will be on pens. It's very close between those two. Some Dutch people told me in the comment section yesterday it should be Depay. But Van Dijk is right up there in terms of penalties. I think you should join the Sudakov train, Dylan. Yeah, I think his ownership is 1 or 2%, but in terms of engaged managers, he might be right up there. I have to make a few changes to my squad, and if I were to bring in De Bruyne for Trossard, I'd have to make downgrades elsewhere to facilitate that. Can you change the captain more than once per match day? Yes. I know in the rules it kind of implies you can only change it once. In every fantasy game I've played by UEFA, so Champions League Fantasy or World Cup Fantasy by FIFA, that kind of has this similar structure. You can basically change it for every single day within the match day. Havertz or Dovbyk? I'd go for Havertz. Is Konoplia a good option? Yeah, he's okay, but I'll be honest with Ukraine, my favourite defensive coverage is Lunin. I think Foden is decent, but for England, his record isn't great. I think he's got, 4 goals and 8 assists in 30 games, roughly? Yeah, Nico Williams is fine. I've been asked about him a few times today, and look, he could be a great differential, particularly against Albania, but Croatia and Italy are still potentially some really good teams in this tournament, and I'm not a big fan of Spain attackers against those two teams. Theo or Rudiger? Theo Hernandez if he's fit, and I think he will be. Yeah, Yamal is a good option. I covered him in the best budget players video and also the best forwards. My Insta is Dylan RCM. The links are in the description below. You'll see it in the outro. And typically in my videos, you will see it on the right-hand side of the screen. Van Dijk over Rudiger? Yes, for me. Rodri or Sudakov? I'd probably go for Sudakov just for the attacking potential. Kane or Mbappe? Kane. Shaqiri or Kalinoglu? I'm currently going for Shaqiri, but I think Shaqiri is very likely to be dropped from my team. I like Shaqiri for matchday 1, but not beyond that. Damantis says, hey, thanks for the content. Would you say Cancelo is the best premium defender for matchday 1? I think so, yeah. It's quite difficult because if Theo Hernandez starts, he's also right up there. You've also got Trent against Serbia and Frimpong if he starts, but I just think Cancelo is the safest bet. Trent and Wirtz versus Musiala and Gay. I think you asked me this earlier, mate, and I went for Trent and Wirtz. DeMarco, Foden and Dovbyk or Gay, Sudakov and Kane? I would go for DeMarco, Foden and Dovbyk there. Yeah, I think Frimpong is worth the risk, but don't have too many risks there. Your final team in how many minutes? I can't give you one because I haven't fully decided yet in terms of certain picks, especially in the midfield. I'm just being completely honest here. I'll try to notify patrons and channel members first, and then I'll let everybody else know as well. But my main advice is don't copy anybody, including myself, because you can do better by going for your own picks. What was the thought process behind dropping Jorginho from your lineup? I've actually reintroduced him to my squad, but with Jorginho, he's not prolific in terms of goals or assists. He's mainly there for ball recoveries and potentially to be a penalty taker. Eriksen or Højbjerg? If money is no issue, sorry for the noise, it would be Eriksen. Saka or Yamal? Well, they are different positions, but I'd probably go for Yamal, actually. Havertz or Wirtz? Havertz está registrado como mediocampista y va de centro delantero. En este juego, en Euro Fantasy, está registrado como delantero. Así que es medio difícil. Yo prefiero a Havertz porque en el mediocampo tienes a más alternativas en esa posición y por ese precio comparado con Wirtz. Y con Kai Havertz creo que está entre los 5 o 6 mejores delanteros en el juego, pero no sé qué juego está jugando, si Havertz está clasificado como un mediocampista. Pero si tuviera que elegir, pondría a Kai Havertz. Wirtz or Gundogan? Wirtz for me. Veerman versus Simmons versus Rice. Simmons if he starts. Sorry, Simons. It's Simons. I'd say Simons. I'll say Dalot's the safest bet. I'm not sure about that, to be honest, because you've got Cancelo on the right and you've also got Nuno Mendes on the left. You could see some interchanging between Cancelo, Nuno Mendes and Dalot. You might be right about that, but I don't think Dalot's nailed on. Can change captain more than once per match day? I covered this before, mate. You don't need to repeat the same question, by the way, in the same message. That's a bit jarring. How sure do you think Trossard plays? He's not as nailed as a Kevin De Bruyne or Lukaku, but I'm very sure he'll start. I'm 80% certain they will play in match day 1. Who should I captain? Wirtz, Kroos or Musiala? Back your gut, that's the main advice, but out of those 3, I'd personally pick Wirtz. What do you think of Pedri? He scored a brace recently. He's a quality player. I'm just not so sure about him because of Croatia because of Croatia and Italy in the group stages, and he's not a goal-scoring midfielder per se. Does Zinchenko play for Ukraine? Yes, he does, but there is the possibility he has dropped to the bench because you've got Mikalenko at left back, and in the midfield, where Zinchenko primarily plays, you've got Stepanenko and Shrapnenko, if I'm not mistaken. For this match day, Rodri or Kalinoglu? Kalinoglu. Hey Dylan, Chakvetadze plus the Goalkeeper or Jorginho and Fas? I would go for the latter, Jorginho and Fas. What do you think about Georgian players? My favourites would be Kvaratskhelia and Kasia, who's a 4 million defender. Dylan, is booking in matchday 2 transfers okay on a matchday 3 limitless? If so, how many? Well, ideally not more than 2, because then you're looking at hits, right? If you're not using a chip in matchday 2. I'm not a big fan of booking in transfers, but so long as there's not too many, only just the 1 or 2, you should be fine. Concerned about red cards and injuries and not having transfers. Yeah, I understand. I'd say not more than 2. Wirtz versus Trossard. I'm going for Trossard at the moment, but that's likely to change. That's likely to change to De Bruyne. And to be honest, my midfield is definitely up for grabs, really. No one is safe. I don't think Fela Mendy starts unless Theo Hernandez isn't available in terms of fitness. Maybe. Declan Rice is good for ball recoveries, but if we look at UCL Fantasy, he wasn't particularly great. He mainly got 3 or 4 points, which is okay, but it's not great. Do you think Cancelo is nailed for 2 match days? I think he's nailed on for 2 match days. If anything, it's between Nuno Mendes and Dalot. Those are the 2 that are likely to be dropped. Lunin plus Stanek duo? That's fine. I just prefer going for a 5 million top goalkeeper like Diogo Costa or Pickford. I mentioned this in my chip strategy guide. I've been as transparent as possible in my videos. So my current plan is to use the limitless in either matchday 2 or 3, and to use the wild card in either matchday 3 or 5. I'm leaving that option open. If I had to lean one way or the other, I think I might use both chips in the group stages, but that isn't locked in, and I've made this very clear. I went for Sudakov over Shaqiri. Yeah, I like Sudakov, to be fair, and what I like about him more than Shaqiri is that he's nailed on for the 3 match days. Shaqiri will likely be benched in one of them. Since when do we sign CDMs on Fantasy, Dylan? Well, since fantasy games like this exist and UCL Fantasy, where ball recoveries are a big thing in the game. So for every 3 ball recoveries an outfield player makes, a player gains 1 point, and that's why Højbjerg could be good. You also look at players like Xhaka and also potentially a Mark Gay or Wout Fass. So that's why CDMs are actually quite valuable in this game. Pick the 2 best out of Pickford, Costa, Cancelo and Trent, but can only pick 1 from each country. I'd probably go for Pickford and Cancelo. How do you rate Scotland's chances? Well, I've actually got a bit of Scottish heritage in me. I'll be wishing them the best, but look, it's a highly balanced group, I think, and they've got a chance, but I'll be honest, Germany are the favourites to win the group, and I personally think Germany will win today. I've currently gone for a 2-0 for the host nation. But Scotland have a chance, there's no doubt about it. They beat Spain in the qualifiers, and they can be a tough cookie to crack. Yet Fratesi should start, according to Sky Italia. I covered this earlier. Do you think Cher is a good pick? Weising, there's a possibility that Cher doesn't start, which I covered in the updated lineups video yesterday. Elvedi, Akanji and Ricardo Rodriguez could be the 3 centre-backs. Yeah, righty, I always try to go live for UCL Fantasy, FPL and Euro Fantasy. I don't think I missed a deadline stream for a long time now. Even on holiday, I've always tried to be available with live streams. And yeah, that will be the plan, to go live for every single deadline stream. At what time will you review your final team? When I actually confirm my team and I'm happy with it. That's literally the honest answer. So the plan is to show chummers and patrons first. But yeah, let me get straight into it, because otherwise I'm not going to get into it, and I don't want to leave things to the last minute. I'm just going to answer this question by Alexander. Dylan, ¿qué opinas de Chakvetadze? Georgia es probablemente, o Georgia es probablemente de los equipos más débiles, pero para 4.5 hay pocas opciones mejores. Sí, tienes razón, para 4.5 no hay nadie, lamentablemente, pero prefiero a Jorginho por 5 millones y también tienes a Højbjerg por 5.5. Y yo prefiero tener más, no sé, opciones más confiables que pueden tener recuperaciones del balón y también goles o asistencias. Y en el caso de Jorginho pueden tomar penales. Así que está bien Captaincy, pero no soy no soy fanático de ese jugador en este juego porque, no sé, para mí hay mejores alternativas y opciones por 5 millones y 5.5 y no cuesta mucho más para obtenerlo. I need my team for matchday 1 or 2, Pickford or Costa. I'd go for Diogo Costa. Gay, Widmer or Tar, considering that will mean I have double England or Germany in defence. I'd go for Gay. My biggest risk is Ronaldo instead of Kane, but he's cheaper. So he enables another couple of upgrades. That's absolutely fine. The league code is in the description below, and you can even see it on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. JCRHjQ, it's literally there. It says league, and it's quite clear. What country are you from? I'm from Argentina, so I've got dual nationality. I'm also English and Argentinian. I'll be honest, I've never really been able to support England. I've just never had that connection with them in football. But yeah, I guess I'd say England. I've also got Scottish heritage. There's quite a mix going on in my family, isn't there? But yeah, I'm really focused on Argentina and the Copa America, to be honest. Odds on Pepe starting, I'd say 60-70%. You've also got Gonzalo Inacio and Antonio Silva. But yeah, I think it will be Pepe. Okay, once again, I'd love to answer every single question, and we have gone for a lot of these already, but I need to lock in my team and make sure I'm happy with it because I like to overthink. Best Switzerland defender, I'd say Akanji. I'll get back to your other questions soon, I promise, but I'll try to lock in my squad as I just mentioned. Be sure to keep on smashing the like button, and let's get to 24k in terms of subscribers. Once we get to that, I'll be gifting 5 more memberships, and well, actually we've already hit 24,000, so thank you very much to those that have helped me reach this goal. It's massively appreciated. Over the last week, the reception has been crazy. We've reached new goals, of course, and I think we've gained like hundreds of subscribers, maybe even 1,000 or close to it. So I do appreciate it, and I'll be gifting 5 memberships very shortly, so stay tuned. And of course, you'll see my final team very shortly as well, but I need to actually decide on it before I can even show you that. So I think the main issue for me is the midfield. That's where I'm not too confident. So what I'm thinking about is going for Jorginho and De Bruyne over Trossard and Shaqiri. But I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'm a bit unsure about certain picks in the midfield and also the balance of the team. But I'm quite set on Diogo Costa and a 4-point family and goalkeeper like Lunin or Verbruggen. And I think I'll go for the Dutchman right now, especially if I play a chip in Matchday 2. Gay, Mittelstadt, DeMarco, Cancelo and Fass. I actually like that defensive 5. I'm quite happy with it. But then it's the midfield and attack. And I'll be honest, yeah, it's just the midfield that really leaves me a bit unsure. But maybe instead of going for De Bruyne, what I'm going to do is go for a more balanced midfield and drop De Bruyne for a Sudakov as one example. I'm not saying that's set in stone. And then for Jorginho, for example, or Højbjerg, I can then upgrade to a Saka. I could easily do that. That is something I'm not going to rule out. Trossard could also come in for me. But yeah, I have to say that's really the main issue I have. I'm quite set on my front 3, which is quite template, Lukaku, Kane and Mbappe, but I'm quite happy to see Lukaku has 20% ownership and it's not higher. But yeah, he was more of a differential before, of course, and now, yeah, he's becoming a bit template. But yeah, I think for those that are channel members and patrons, of course, I try to keep you updated, first. But I'll be honest, nothing's really changed from what I posted half an hour ago or over an hour ago. Yeah, I'm currently going for Jorginho and De Bruyne in the midfield, but I am open to some changes in that position. But let me know what you think in the live chat. What would you change with this squad? And let's now go to the transfer section. I think it will be, yeah, this one. This should be the right call. So yeah, what I'm thinking about here is Jorginho and De Bruyne. Let me know in the live chat by saying yes or no, and we'll see what you're saying. And what else would you change with this team? I'd be very interested to see your thoughts. Of course, I'm probably better at giving advice than taking it myself or making my own decisions because I am an overthinker. But yeah, that is my current setup, and we'll see what I end up going for. Of course, I know there's some people that do copy. Don't do that if possible, because it's just more enjoyable if you go for your own decisions, and you'll probably do better if you give yourself a chance. But let me just upgrade that. That should be better. Yeah, we go. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit OCD as well. Anything else? Any other flaws you have, Dylan? Yeah, well, we can be here all night. But yeah, that is what I'm currently going for. Let's see if anything changes within the next 10-20 minutes. Ready to go, says Gary. That's great to hear. Unfortunately, I'm not ready to go because I just love overcomplicating things. Who takes pens for England? Harry Kane. Good option instead of Koundé, under 4.5 million, but not available from Germany, England, or Belgium. You're asking for a lot, aren't you? Kasia from Georgia could be quite good for ball recoveries, but honestly, for 4 million, it'll be very difficult to find a player that will give you clean sheet potential alongside ball recoveries. But yeah, there are some. It's just I'm actually forgetting them, despite covering them for the last few. Let me just get up PowerPoint and get up all my slides and give you the answer. Yeah, just give me a second. Hopefully that doesn't cause freezing on my stream. But yeah, 4 million defenders. So yeah, well, Mittelstadt obviously is right up there, but you did say no Germany. So yeah, basically go for someone a bit different. So Scotland, no. Hungary, nope. I don't even think Nego is nailed on to start there. For Switzerland, no. Spain, no. Calafiori's 4.5 million, so yeah, no one from them. From Croatia, one interesting option is Pongracic, who could start centre-back for Matchday 2. He might be quite interesting against Albania. Albania have a few 4 million defenders themselves, don't they? But I think all of the starting ones will be 4.5 million. Lewis Dunk is on standby as a 4 million defender, but obviously you said no one from England. That's fair enough. Yeah, so when I'm looking down this list, I would probably say maybe Bednarek or Dawidowicz from Poland. Apologies to any Polish people watching and cringing for my pronunciation. From Austria, I'd say Leinhardt, who is nailed on. From Belgium, obviously it's Wout fast, but you said no Belgium. Ukraine, they're all 4.5 million, and in the case of Mikolenko, he's priced at 5. Romania have a few 4 million options, actually. Mainly their two fullbacks in Banku and Rachu, who are likely to start. Then we have Slovakia. Yeah, they're all 4.5 million and above. Turkey, no, they don't have anyone. Czech Republic actually have Franak, who could be the main centre-back alongside Hollis. And my eyesight is terrible. Krejci. And the other one, yeah, Kasia, as I mentioned earlier, for Georgia. You've also got Kirkavelia, if I'm not mistaken, and Diwali. So all three centre-backs for Georgia, who are expected to start, are 4 million defenders, and my favourite is Kasia due to ball recovery. So hopefully that answers your question, and it was quite reasonable, so to speak. Thank you, Soldier Boy. Thank you very much. 6 million midfielder, I'd say Jacques and Højbjerg are right up there, and Højbjerg is my slight preference. Not a big fan of Kerkez, to be honest. I think Hungary are quite good, but their group looks quite difficult, I think, in terms of clean sheets. Mejor mediocampo por 6.5. Está entre Sudakov, Kalanoglu y Shaqiri para mí. This isn't my... Look, this is my current team, but I'm not saying it's locked in. I might make some further changes because I like to overthink. So yeah, within the next 20 minutes, I'll probably be panicking. That's the kind of person I am. Best 7 million midfielder. Szoboszlai or Eriksson. Fernandez to German mid. I think Fernandez is better than any German mid. I'd keep him if possible. How to change the tactic of the team. Just make subs. That's all you have to do. So if you bring on, let's say you have a 3-5-2 and you bring on a defender for a midfielder, it will then change to a 4-4-2. That's all you need to do. Best Dutch mid, either Xavi Simons or Veerman. And in the case of Veerman, he's more nailed on. Musiala or Havertz. I'd go for Havertz. Yeah, Yamal, good option. Zabani, yeah, once again, I'm not a big fan of hungry defenders, but you might be onto something. There is a chance Guller starts, but I'm not entirely sure. I currently think he'll be on the bench. Trent and Gay double up. I think one's enough. Cancelo or Van Dijk? Cancelo. And Van Dijk, it's between him and Depay, sorry, for penalties. And I'm not entirely sure about that. Alexander Alva says, DeMarco and Jorginho plus Calhanoglu or DiMarco plus Szoboszlai plus Czerwowski or Fio and Czerwowski plus Calhanoglu. Right, there's 3 trios. Okay, sorry. I'd probably go for the first trio. Yeah. DeMarco, Jorginho and Calhanoglu. Tosan Buongiorno. I'm not sure if he starts now. Sky Italia put a team out and it was a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. And it was Calafiori, who's a 4-point family defender, who was in the starting lineup. KDB and Sudakov or Trossard and Wirtz. Probably KDB and Sudakov. Yeah, Trent is going to start according to reports. I think he'll start. Callum Jr. says going to be supporting 2 teams this Euros as I'm going to Spain for 6 weeks. That's a good strategy. Yeah, and if the Spanish are happy, they might give you some free drinks. Thank you, Edward, for the super chat. Massively appreciated. What about Saka, Jorginho, Rodri? Also, thank you. I did phenomenal in Champions League thanks to you. That's great to hear. And I appreciate your super chat and also a great question. So Jorginho is in my current team. Is it showing on screen? Yes, it is. So, yeah, Jorginho's in my squad. And in terms of 5 million and below, he's probably my favourite midfielder. As for Rodri, he's just safe and reliable. He doesn't have a great goals and assists record for Spain, but he has started to rack up the goals and assists for the national team in recent games. He scored a brace against Brazil back in March. And as for Saka, I think he's the best England midfielder. When you look at his international record, he's got 11 goals in 33 games, and you've got the likes of Bellingham and Foden. Yeah, they've got 4 goals and 5 goals respectively. So yeah, I think Saka's a good option, a bit underrated actually. Yeah, Shaqiri for Matchday 1 only is good. I just don't like him beyond that. Would you go Cancelo and Stanek or Costa and Widmer or any other 4-point family and defender? I would go for Costa and a 4-point family and defender like the Goalkeeper or Gay. I'm not sure, to be honest, why people are talking about Sudakov specifically. Maybe because in the recent friendly he got a goal and 2 assists, and he's quite decent in terms of assist threat, but he's not the only 6-point family midfielder that exists. Hola, ¿por qué meto está como capitán? Porque Euro Fantasy es como UCL Fantasy, la Champions, donde tienes capitanes por cada día en la jornada. Entonces, si te muestro un ejemplo. Hoy tenemos Alemania y Escocia. Entonces, lo que quieres hacer es poner como capitán un alemán o escocés. Y en este caso voy por Mittelstadt. Si después del partido, cuando termine, y antes de los partidos de mañana, ahí puedes cambiar el capitán. Y ahí puedes poner, no sé, DiMarco, por ejemplo, como tu capitán en contra de Albania. Y si no estás contento con lo que hace, también tienes los capitanes para el domingo. Y ahí tienes muchas opciones como Harry Kane. Y después el lunes tienes a Mbappé en contra Austria, y el martes tienes a Bruno Fernández o Joao Cancelo. Y cuando cambias el capitán no puedes revertir la decisión. Así que sí, mira, es medio complicado explicarlo también en inglés y español a la misma vez, pero así es como anda el capitán en UCL Fantasy y Euro Fantasy. Si tienes cualquier pregunta, no sé, avísame, pero creo que es bastante claro. Let's go back to my team. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This might be my final team then. I'm kind of struggling to make further changes to this midfield, and I probably need to. But basically what I said in Spanish right now is what I've said time after time again about captaincy. You have the opportunity to change your captain every single day within the match day. Yeah, Xavi Simons, if he starts, is pretty good, but there's no guarantee he does. Yeah, Mbappe should start. Szoboszlai or Gundogan? Szoboszlai for me. Shaqiri or Sudakov? I think Sudakov is a bit safer, so I'd go for him. Mbappe isn't injured. He's ill. Vitinha, what about me? Yeah, he's decent. He's decent. It's just he's not an amazing option. I checked his record for Portugal, and it's actually very poor. I think he's only scored once for them, if I'm not mistaken. Højbjerg, are you okay? Check his international record, mate. I mean, it's not like I just picked Højbjerg because he's cheap. He's actually got some goals and assists about him. 10 goals, 10 assists for Denmark. I think he scored in his last 2 or 3 consecutive games, and he has ball recovery potential, but it's up to you. Better captain Wirtz or Mittelstadt? I'd say Wirtz. There is the chance for Scotland to score. For example, I sub out Fass and sub in Theo. If Theo doesn't play, less points will return. I don't think that is the best example because, if I'm not mistaken, they both play on the same day, right? So, let me just double check this myself. Yeah, they both play on the 17th. The way substitutions work, well, to be fair, they might play at different times. So you could do that. Let me just quickly check again. Yeah, they do play at different times. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that, to be fair. So yeah, if Wout Fass doesn't deliver, you can actually substitute him out for Theo Hernandez in the same day. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Some people do ask these questions in terms of like, can you sub in a player that's already played? No. And that's why those on your bench should be players that play later in the match day, and you bring them on towards the very end for the lowest scoring players in your starting 11. But yeah, let's go back to my team again. Jesus Christ, I'm switching around like a madman. Maybe because I am. Wirtz or Szoboszlai? Szoboszlai. My captain will be Mittelstadt for the first day. I've made all the things clear, by the way. The group code isn't working on the app. Really? Is it not working? I'm not sure why that is, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that's the code. It's JCR. Wait, I went on the wrong screen, by the way. That's the chip strategy stuff. We'll maybe talk about that another time. But right now, we've got to lock in our teams. We've got 10 minutes left before kickoff. And once the deadline has passed and the game starts, I'll be gifting 5 more memberships for those that are still tuning in to celebrate 24,000 subscribers. Thank you to those that have supported the channel. But yeah, the league code should be JCRHjQ. The J is lowercase, everything else is uppercase, so make sure you've got that in capitals. Dylan, I'm seriously considering Cole Palmer. He will come on and the form is scintillating. Yeah, it's just I'm not a big fan of substitutes, and Palmer will likely be a substitute. Thank you, Kratos. I just love God of War, sorry. Aranya says, long time, hope you're well. Captain Wirtz or Gundogan? I would go for Wirtz. Now, Gundogan is on penalties, but yeah, Wirtz for me could have a breakout tournament on the international stage. Romania suffered 5 goals in qualifying. Thoughts on the goalkeeper? In terms of 4 million options, he's fine. It's just in this group for Romania, I do think they'll struggle. And look, I might be underestimating them. There are surprises, and Romania could be one of them. But I do prefer the likes of Lunin or Verbruggen at 4.5. Which French defenders will start? If Theo Hernandez is fit, and I think he will be, he'll be the left back with Upamecano and Konate as the 2 centre backs, and Koundé on the right hand side. But there are rumours that Saliba could get the nod, and in my opinion, he should. But Deschamps is the national team manager. 24k legend Dylan, thank you very much. Who is the best as captain, Wirtz, Havertz or Mittelstadt? You know what? I think I'd say I'm going to go for Wirtz. That's my gut feeling. I'm very conflicted between him and Havertz, but I think I'd go for Wirtz there. Home team and penalties. Yeah, exactly. Why Szoboszlai, since Hungary plays Switzerland? He's got a great record for the national team, and I think Szoboszlai is a very underrated pick on the international stage. Yeah, possibly. Maybe you're right. I think maybe Havertz is a bit safer. I just have a good feeling about Wirtz, and that's why I'm recommending him. And he was in my very first draft, but I have removed him ever since. Romania's goalkeeper is not set in stone. Yeah, you're right. That is true. Someone pointed it out in my video yesterday. UEFA actually have, well, they changed it overnight, and they don't have Moldovan as the goalkeeper. Who's your starting 11 for today? Well, basically, what I've done is those playing on the 17th and 18th are on my bench. That's basically how it works. There's not really much more to it. Do you only get 2 free transfers in Matchday 2? Yes. And if you roll the transfer in Matchday 2, you can then get free transfers in Matchday 3 and no more. Best family and defender? I think Stones, Castagna. Then you've got cheaper options like the Goalkeeper, Fass, and all these players. They're right up there. The definitive best option could be Koundé for Matchday 1, though. Who to transfer in Matchday 2? Højbjerg or Jorginho, and for who? I'm not really sure if I'd buy Jorginho in Matchday 2. He's really a Matchday 1 punt, and he's cheap. Højbjerg, yeah, he's not great for Matchday 2, to be fair. That's an issue I have with him as well. But yeah, we've literally got 8 minutes left, by the way, to lock in our team. So, oh, by the way, I just saw Saliba will start for France against Austria in the opener. That is reported by L'Equipe. So that is a change there. I'm not sure who will drop out. It's between Konate or Upamecano. One of them will drop out. But we should see Theo Hernandez, Saliba, one of those two that I just mentioned, and Koundé as the 4 defenders for France. That was a question we just got now. So yeah, that is our final team. Yeah, I think I'm going to make some more changes, actually. Oh, Jesus, this is so difficult. I might have to even make a downgrade in the defense. Possibly Joao Cancelo, who has scored against Czech Republic before. I might have to move him out. And that way I can make an improvement in the midfield. Yeah, this is difficult. Now, Højbjerg has been in great form. I know people always question that pick, but I think I might change him to a 6.5 million midfielder. So we've literally got 7 minutes left. Be sure to lock in your teams. And once again, thank you very much for all your support. And I do apologize if I haven't answered a question or comment, but I've tried my very best to cover as many as possible. And yeah, this stream has been extremely busy. Reminds me of the UCL Fantasy ones, although maybe not to the same level because that is crazy on its day. But let's see. I'm actually quite conflicted about this one. Yeah, Højbjerg scored in his last 3 games, I think, for Denmark. Very impressive record in recent times. He scored against Faroe Islands back in March, scored against Sweden and Norway. And then it's Slovenia up next. And to be fair, they could be quite tough for Denmark. I don't think it's an easy game for them. Yeah, the last 2 games against Slovenia have been 2-1 and 1-1. So yeah, quite interesting there. So yeah, Højbjerg might make way. So let's say, for example, I want to go for one of Sudakov or Kalinoglu or even Veerman, something like that. Maybe bring back Shaqiri. And also maintaining Kevin De Bruyne. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult indeed. And it might even require downgrading a Cancelo or one of my forwards. And I'm not really a big fan of that. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's kind of difficult. But let's actually play around with this a little bit. So I do apologize. Once again, I did warn you. I'm a bit of a tinkerer. And that's why I might make some late changes. And it's possible I'll be doing that right now. Yeah, double. You know what? I'm looking at this and then it's like, which defender do I go for? So let's actually lock in this 5th midfielder if I were to make changes. Let's say Wirtz, for example. And then I have 4 million for a defender. Yeah, that's not great, is it? That is not great at all. I've already got Mittelstadt and Fass. So with this setup, yeah, you know what? I think Szoboszlai might even make way. I do like Szoboszlai, but might go for just a better fixture overall. Problem with Kalinoglu is he plays Portugal in Matchday too. So yeah, that's where Sudakov could come in for the first 2 match days. I think he could be quite decent there. Mega differential. Kalinoglu's on set pieces, including penalties. Wow, big decisions to make, and we've only got, wow, less than 4 minutes left, so I'm going to get my act together. So yeah, I do apologize to the channels and patrons. I did warn you as well. Yeah, basically, at the moment, my team is what you saw in that picture, but I'm likely going to make the changes you see on screen. Also looking at Sudakov. Oh yeah, to be fair, Sudakov in recent games for Ukraine has been very impressive, actually. You know what? I think I'm going to go for Sudakov. Maybe I'm buying into the hype or something. You could argue that. That's fair. You know what? I think I'm going to go in this direction. Maybe go all in on the... So now we've got 4.5 million for a defender. And this is where things get interesting, because who'd you go for? Maybe Jonathan Tah, but double up in England, and sorry, in Germany defense isn't great. I could go for Calafiori and double up on Italy defensively for the first match day. But yeah, getting rid of Cancelo. Look, it's just, you're going to have to make compromises somewhere down the line. The midfield is the most important position for me. Maybe what I'll do is, instead of De Bruyne, I'll go for Trossard, who's been in great form recently, and then stick with Cancelo and go for a better midfield. So let me know in the live chat, yes or no, very quickly what you think. I do apologize. I would rather talk about your teams, but I need to focus on my one right now. Otherwise, I'll cry afterwards. Dylan, the site is lagging. Yeah. Yes, that is a possible issue. Lukaku out y te quedas por Cancelo. Sí, es una buena sugerencia. Well, it's not always a last minute decision. Mate, honestly, it's literally because I've been focusing so much on questions. Now I've literally said, oh crap, I need to do my own thing. Yeah, maybe Gundogan. He's a penalty taker, to be fair. Site's crashed. Oh, that's not good. Well, at least I've made changes before already, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's not what we want to see. Typically, UEFA is quite good with site crashes. No better before, says Anders. Fair enough. Make your moves ASAP so it doesn't crash, Dylan. Yeah, people are a bit, you know, conflicted about this. Big fan of KDB. Thank you, Robbie. Rob. Car's a good pick, I think. So do I, but I've already got Mittelstadt, and I don't like Germany assets beyond matchday 1 defensively. And also, it wouldn't surprise me if Scotland scored. I don't think Germany are that solid at the back. But yeah, I like Sudakov, but I'm not a big fan of Wirtz overall. I think he could do well in this match day, but his minutes are a big concern, especially when Sane returns from fitness. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to refresh this page. So at the moment, this is my current team. So I do have... Wait, what? Let me just refresh that again, because I'm pretty sure I don't have Shaqiri. Yeah, so... yeah, my midfield is a bit weak. It is a bit weak, I do recognise that. And that's the problem of having De Bruyne, this front three, and Bruno Fernandes. You have to make sacrifices. I also have Cancelo. But there are some potential budget options with potential lot of value, like Jorginho and Højbjerg. But yeah, I think this might be my final team. Let me see if that's cropped properly. Yeah, I think that's fine. So Mittelstadt is my captain at the moment. I think I'm going to stick with this. And actually, surprisingly, it's what I talked about before the deadline stream even started. So all channels and patrons saw my team early, and I don't think I'll make a late change. So I might just stick with that. And then once again, we get to match day 2. I might play some chips, and then we'll see how things are looking there. But yeah, with just seconds to go, very unlikely I'll make any changes actually. So this could be my final team. I know some of you might be thinking, Dylan, you've effed up. But there are some good picks in there, trust me. So the plan is to, yeah, go for Verbruggen in goal, Gay, Mittelstadt and DeMarco as the back three, De Bruyne, Højbjerg, Szoboszlai and Jorginho as the midfield four. Ah, Jesus, yeah. I'm not going to lie, I just had a feeling about changing Szoboszlai, but yeah, it's too late now. Kickoff has begun, and there we go. Let me actually just check this about the website crashing. I do like Szoboszlai, though. I do like him. Yeah, there you go. The site's already refreshed, so I'm just going to go back to it. I've gone for 2-0 Germany, and Havertz to score first. Let's see how that pans out. I might have some regrets come the end of match day 1, but we'll learn more about the tournament as we delve into it. I think my one possible regret would be Szoboszlai instead of a Sudakov because of the fixtures, and you've also got Shaqiri, Kalinoglu. There are some good picks in there, around 6.57 million. But I've gone for this. Let's see how it pans out. And I'm a bit excited, actually, about how this is going to go. No, he jumped off the Sudakov train. Don't worry, I can still jump on board for... yeah, well, let's not get copyright by ATV. I've got the game on screen. Wait, what? The game hasn't started yet. Interesting. Piss off, man. Sorry, I'm sorry for the swearing. It's just, yeah. I've actually lost signal. It was actually working earlier. Cheers. Good luck, guys, to Soldier Boy. Good luck to you. Site crash, says Theodore. Gracias, Dylan. Suerte en la Euro. O la Euro. Crack como siempre. Muchas gracias, Alexander. Y mucha suerte para esta temporada. Any exciting play you'd love to watch? Depends what teams we're talking about. Yeah, I did keep KDB in the end, but I do have Jorginho and Højbjerg, and some of you might be, you know, literally just vomiting. The points will be for the best 11, not all 15. That's true. That is true. Yeah, and that's where the so-called cheaper options come in. Come on, Scotland, says my Fairground M. To be honest, Kai Havertz scores again. Nah, to be honest, I don't really care who wins. Normally, I'd say Scotland. Yeah, why not? Let's go for Scotland. Macleay. Come on. Gonna watch the game now. Good luck, Dylan. Of course. By the way, because we did hit 24k. By the way, I'm not nervous. Maybe I do seem like that. It's just because this bloody game isn't working for some reason. Oh, look, Trossel's the ref. That's nice. Maybe I'll get extra points for him. Oh, wait, I don't have Trossard anymore. I'm literally touching an antenna, by the way. So, yeah, apologies if that looks weird. I'm going to give 5 more memberships to celebrate 24,000 subscribers being hit. There is no predictor league, but maybe I'll make one at some point. But there is a Euro Fantasy League. There is a link in the description below. The league code is JCRHjQ. The J is lowercase. The rest is in capitals. Let's actually do it before I keep chatting crap. Will we have a stream watch for the match? Well, if there's still people here, like 100, 200 people at least, then maybe I'll keep on streaming for a while longer, but not for the entire match, I think, because I'm a human. I need to eat. I'm starving right now. And I have been streaming for the past few hours. But before I forget, let's bloody award these memberships, right? So, yeah, let's close these. Yeah, I'm going to close these. And what else do we have? We still have over 200 people watching, by the way. Thank you very much. If you're on your way out, regardless, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for new. It'd be massively appreciated. Not sure why the TV's not working. It was earlier, but there you go. It's coming in and out. Wait, what? Jesus, I don't even know what's happening. It's literally all blurry. I'm going to gift the memberships, so thank you to those that have been tuning in. Your support will be appreciated. Well, it is appreciated, and it will be rewarded now. So let's see who has gifted the memberships. Damn, I could not find your stream earlier. Yeah, damn YouTube algorithm. What can we do? So Gary is a channel member once again, if I'm not mistaken. Let's Talk Vinyl, Punjabi, Twisted Parky, and Arthur Nice. Yeah, Akash, I don't choose who has gifted it. I just click a button and YouTube randomly allocates it. So I do apologize. The app just froze in the last minute, so you couldn't change anything. Yeah, I always say this. It's best to lock in your teams as early as possible. Yeah, so it is what it is. Normally in UCL Fantasy, we don't have this problem, but unfortunately we did get it here. Cheers, Dylan. Excited for the Sudakov punt. Yeah, good luck. And if he does well, I might have some regrets about not going for him over Szoboszlai. We'll see how much Dylan crushes my 442 stars gimmick. Good to see him back. Thank you very much, Keith. It's always a pleasure. The game started. Yeah, don't worry. I know that. I've got it in the background, but because it's kind of cutting in and out, I've literally got nothing to really watch. Who are you supporting? I'm a Barca fan, so going for Spain naturally. In the Euros, I'm not really sure. I know who I'm supporting in Copa America, obviously, but for here, I don't know, to be honest. I'm kind of a neutral. Crash, just as I thought of some clutch changes before the deadline. They got to fix this issue. Yeah, I'm surprised by it. As I just mentioned, this website tends to be quite reliable compared to FPL. Drop Trossard too. Yeah, I did, and I might regret it. How will you go about captains, Dylan? I covered it in the team selection and also early in the deadline stream. So I've got Mittelstadt today, which you can see. Tomorrow, I'll be going for DeMarco. Then on the 16th, I'll go for Harry Kane. On the 17th, between Mbappe and Lukaku. And to be fair, De Bruyne is a shout. He really is. And on the 18th, I've got Bruno Fernandes, who's the most likely captain. But hopefully, we don't need to go all the way to the 18th to sort that out. I'm trying to get the game up, by the way. It's literally the antennas. I'm back in the 80s or something. Oh, it's working now? And it's not. Watch along. Like I said, if there's still people watching and the chat is still lively, I'd be happy to chat crap for a little while longer. So in YouTube, they've done a new feature for a couple of months where you can give 10 memberships per month. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I heard ITV and thought you had Love Island on. No. I'd never watch Love Island, not even for the women. No. It's all about football in the summer. Good luck, Dylan. See you soon. Likewise, Akash. I bought Mudryk and Mailer last minute. Good luck. I really hope it pays off for you. And yeah, Euro Fantasy is kind of like a game that rewards differentials most of the time. I went for Trent and Trossard over Gay and KDB. Yeah, Trent should start match day 1 and Trossard as well. And they're good picks. They really are. The code for Euro Fantasy is in the description. And there's an auto-join link, which makes it very simple. You can also see it on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Very simple to follow. Hey Dylan, do you have the Copa America 2024 schedule in English? No, but there are many images online that show, all the Copa America games and Euros for the entire month. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to forget it. I can't watch the game right now, unfortunately. So it's not even a watch along. It's just me seeing what you lot think about the game and just being a bit jealous. I'm not sure why it's not working. So yeah, thank you, Gary. Thank you to Arthur. El Padrino, good to see you. Yes, Crown, nice indeed. I went for Trossard and Trent over KDB and Gay. Thoughts? Yeah, look, they're both good duos. I've gone for KDB and Gay personally, but yeah, I do prefer KDB a little bit more. That's why I've gone that direction. Yeah, Verts almost scored. I actually couldn't tell. For a second I thought he scored, but everything was blurry because of the bloody antenna. No Sudakov, but it's okay. I got Szoboszlai instead. Yeah, I think that could be one of my regrets, not going for Sudakov or Kalinoglu instead of Szoboszlai, based on the Matchday 1 fixture. The captains, DeMarco, Kane, Mbappe and Fernandes, yeah, that's pretty much what I want right now. Yeah, good luck to you as well, Native Faith. Punjabi says, thank you, Dylan. It's great to be on your stream as always. Oh, so now you want to work, you little twat. Sorry. Yeah, thank you very much. I think the game's working now. Yeah, once again, sorry for getting sidetracked like 3 times in that question. I appreciate that, Punjabi, a long-time viewer of this channel, and I'll see you very soon. Yeah, good thing that Verts didn't score, right? For now. I want Germany to fail, so Kroos doesn't get the Ballon d'Or. Wow, that's fair enough. Yeah, you're a Barca fan, aren't you? But then Vinicius will win it, unless Messi wins Copa America and MLS. Hopefully he does. I didn't go for KDB in the end. I attacked my midfield with Trossard, Sudakov, Szoboszlai, Gundogan and Bruno. Very solid midfield indeed. I wish you the best there. Time for the match. See you tomorrow. Yes, I might record some videos tomorrow and over the weekend. So best, limitless and wildcard teams. But yeah, in terms of live streams, the next one will be on Tuesday the 19th. Sorry, the Wednesday the 19th of June. Site app will crash. Couldn't do Oyarzabal out, Kroos in to afford Cancelo and Tar instead of Fast and Trent. Yeah, I don't think Oyarzabal will start, but he can make an impact off the bench as he has done in recent friendlies. Yeah, I agree. Gonzalo, I think Ronaldo will cook in the group stage. It's just, you can say the same thing about Lukaku, Kane, Mbappe, Havertz, Dovbyk. There's a lot of good forwards in this game. Hey Dylan, I take 2 Italy defenders, DeMarco and Di Lorenzo. Looks great for Matchday 1. Not so much for Matchday 2 and 3 for me. Shows the changes for tomorrow, mainly captain. I just covered it right now, and I mentioned it many times in my team selection and all my videos. Couldn't find many good 4-point family defenders, so went for Tar, playing Limitless in Matchday 3 and Wildcard in Matchday 5. So Tar has 2 good fixtures in a row. Yeah, I do think Hungary is quite tough, but I do agree with you. And also Goalkeeper from Belgium is a very good option. I don't have a predictor league. I could set one up at some point, and if I do, I'll let you know on Discord and on Twitter. But yeah, once again, if you haven't already, join the Euro Fantasy League, which is JCRHjQ. A massive shout out to all channels and patrons. And I know all of you are watching the game and you're like, shut up, Dylan, for once, shut up. But I'm going to read out all the members right now, including the new ones from today. So let's get this list up now. Shout out to Twisted Parky, if it could load, Adnan, Alexander Alava, Gary, Callum Jr., Man United is finished, Punjabi, Let's Talk Vinyl, Arthur Nice, Miguel Costa, Tommy Raw, Hugo, Ananda Peroni, Birkan, Kenny Silvera, Ventislav, Nathama, Exotic Log, Daniel Minassians, Gabriel R, Unruly DMV, Maro Rodriguez, Aman Davar, Jazabi, Lavigny, Joel Cabral, Simon Spears, Ulysses Casares, Keith, Bestie, That Air, George Popescu, Alex Leadham, Garo Fernandez, John Granquist, 5 minutes later, Bahamut, Joe Robinson, Nikhil Patel, Alex Orlov, Andres Suarez, Luis Alexander Perella, Drogba, Rodrigo Urias, and Federico Caliso. A massive shout out to all the members and patrons and those that sent in super chats today, and all subscribers as we hit 24k in today's stream to celebrate the opener of Euro 2024. By the way, look, there's more to life than football, you know. We can talk about, you know, TV shows, films, just saying, but of course, I'm not going to dictate anything. It's up to you what you want to talk about. Oh, my app froze, but Sudakov got transferred in instead of Szoboszlai. Yeah, and it's a good thing that they don't play today, so you can always make the subs after this game is finished and you don't lose out on any points. I don't think there's Copa America Fantasy, is there? I don't think there is, but yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do that as well. Euro Fantasy is bad enough. I used to do F1 Fantasy at some stage as well, and doing that alongside all the tournaments in the summer and UCL Fantasy and FPL, it's just a lot. It really is. Richard Millichip says, hey Dylan, thanks for all the top quality content and this great deadline stream. Really appreciate all the hard work you put into this. I appreciate your kind words and all your contributions to the channel, so thank you very much. Damn, I had full Krug and I couldn't transfer because of the crash. First for UEFA. Yeah. Oh, Vert scores, for fuck's sake. I did say I had a good feeling about him and he was in my first draft, but yeah, well done, Vert's owners. Yay. He's owned by like 30% of the game, so we're up to a great start, for the love of Christ. What are you doing, Scotland? Yeah, Robertson, you should look pissed, you little twat. Who got the assist? I just saw the goal. I literally, fucks. Come on. Yeah, I'm lost for words, man. I'm lost for words. I'm not really Oh, that is a good goal. Oh, the keeper. Joshua Kimmich assist. It's a great finish. That's a great finish by Florian Wirtz. Oh, he got a hand to it and hit the post and went in. For fuck's sake, Gun. What are you doing? Yeah, Nagelsmann, yeah, celebrate. Maybe I don't like Germany. I'll just celebrate Kai Havertz scoring, that's it. But the rest can piss off. Oh, Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt obviously as my captain. But yeah, Wirtz, congratulations. He's cooking right now. He really is. I'm not salty whatsoever. Let's get into the other questions before we obviously get to the Wirtz goal comments. Watching the game, see you again, mate. No worries. Enjoy the game. No Saka upsets me as I only have Trent, so I got to captain him that day. Yeah, look, you can't cover everyone. It's something that I've learned from day one from fantasy. It's just a shame. No French players for me. I think Austria could be quite underrated, so not a bad shout. How many points does Mittelstadt need for you to not change captain? If he gets 10 points or more, I won't change it. If it's 8 or 9, I'll consider it. If it's 7 or less, I think I'll change. Enjoy the game, Dylan. See you in the next one. Thank you, Matic. Take sleep, man. You look tired. Do I? I look tired. If anything, I thought I had energy. Maybe you're right. I don't know. It could be my eyes or something. It's so strange because I searched FPL Dylan earlier and it did not show anything live. Not sure why that's the case, to be honest. Thank you, Dylan. End up going for Kalinoglu and Sudakov. Good luck, bestie. Let's see which midfield duos prevail. Just the Parky puts his team. Thoughts? Very good squad. There's not much wrong with it. I'm guessing you're a bit fuming with Wirtz hauling and Gundogan doing nothing so far, but it's early days. It's a very good squad. Cheers, Dylan, for all your effort in producing so many Euro videos and advice. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's 14 videos, I think, and this is the live stream to make it 15. And there you go. Good impression. Wait, what was the impression about? Was it Scotland? I actually can't remember at this point. I've done a few impressions today. I don't think Mbappe will score easily in the group stages. Very difficult group with great defences. Yeah, Austria, you're right. They're quite underrated. But I think Mbappe will do well, and he'll score a matchday 1. That's my prediction. Yeah, my captain. Fair play, Gonzalo. Great start for you. F this site. I made captain Wirtz, and then the site broke down. Yeah, look. It's obviously the website was quite underwhelming and disappointing today, but it's always best to lock in your teams as soon as possible. And I almost made late changes, but yeah, I always recommend that to people. What game time are you on? I'm live. I'm literally live. I've got it on TV, on ITV. So 30 minutes 19, but there's obviously a delay in the live stream. I had Wirtz, but needed a 0.5. I actually almost went for him. I almost went for Wirtz, Sudakov, and a few changes there. No KDB. Hopefully KDB pays off that transfer. If he blanks, I might start crying. Do you have a Premier League team? Yes, Arsenal. They're my local team. Damn, I had Gundogan instead. Look, he's on penalties. He can still haul, but I said it before, didn't I? I have a feeling about Wirtz, and I should have probably gone for him, but there you go. Goal Wirtz, not captain. Should still be pleased. Yes, I don't have him, for example, and many others don't. Best time to join the stream. Everyone's gone, so I can talk. Oh, yeah, look, it depends how you see it, right? I like all the questions, just not the repeated ones, obviously. My current chip strategy is to use the Limitless in Matchday 2 or 3, and the wild card in either Matchday 3 or 5. I'm keeping my options open. At the moment, I'll likely use both chips in the group stages, but it's not locked in. The good impression was 5 minutes later, fair enough. All the other members have to pull their weight against Wirtz. Yes, hopefully he gets sent off. Well, Dylan expecting a Hummels from his captain. Yeah, it's just the first day captain though. And yeah, to be fair, DeMarco's my next captain. 2 defenders. It's quite rare for me to do in UCL or Euro Fantasy. Maybe double German defense can cover the points, the Wirtz points. They could, but let's wait and see. Don't count your chickens yet because Scotland could score. Twister Parky says, I think probably Cancelo, Saka, money could have been better spent. Yeah, maybe. But look, it's difficult really to nail it down, and sometimes it comes down to 50-50 calls. Dylan, what do you think of Morocco? Well, different competition, of course. Morocco did very well in the World Cup. They were a bit underwhelming in AFCON, but yeah, Morocco, I know some people from there. They're very lovely, to put it bluntly. Yeah, they're quite nice. And Morocco have got some quality players. If we're talking about them in football terms, they obviously were incredible at the World Cup. At least this fantasy game is a one-off. Well, every 4 years, but yeah, you got the right idea. What was the last film you saw at the cinema, Dylan? It's a great question. I should remember this, shouldn't I? I saw Oppenheimer last summer. I'm pretty sure I saw a film but after that, didn't I? I did. I saw a film, but what the... Oh, I saw Poor Things, which is not a film you want to see with your family. But yeah, I think that's the last film I saw. Poor Things starring Emma Stone. It's very dirty. First time watching your stream, enjoyed it very much. Now watch the game, and Viva Sporting. Right, enjoy it, Gonzalo, and enjoy the Euros. I'll be watching that and Copa America. It should be good. Nobody talks about World Cup fantasy anymore. In a month, it'll be irrelevant. Well, World Cup, well, yeah, we're not going to talk about it because it happened 2 years ago, right? But when the time comes, I think there's a bit of hype around World Cup fantasy, in my opinion. So, yeah, I can see what you're saying, but I respectfully disagree. I think they're good fantasy games for the summer. Oh, by the way, sorry, I had this on the wrong screen. Yeah, the league code wasn't very visible that way. So there you go. JCRHjQ is the link. And also check out everything else like my Discord, the Twitter and Instagram, Dylan RCM, the Patreon, Championships Discord. I just repeat myself. Spotify. You get my drift. Maybe I am tired. That person that said I'm tired is probably right. Say Florian Wirtz. He scored 1 goal for the German national team before today, and he's made it 2. By the way, just to make it clear, he hasn't made it 2-0 yet, but he's made it 2 goals for the German national team after his opener today. So yeah, great start. Great start. But at least Mittelstadt could get a clean sheet and a decent haul. But yeah, those that went for Wirtz are cooking. Saludos desde Puerto Rico. Thank you very much, Francam. Went with Havertz captain. Hopefully it pays off for you. He's the only player, apart from Mittelstadt, that I'd be happy if he scored. How much budget do you have left, Dylan? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Havertz, Pedri, De Bruyne, Foden. Yeah, good midfield. I'm just not sure about Pedri. Well, and Havertz as a forward. Yeah, Pedri's just not really a goal-scoring or assisting midfielder, but you never know. This is where subs come into play. We won't be playing every one of our attackers in the 11. That's true. And that's where Jorginho and Højbjerg can be clutch. I'm very happy with my squad, I have to say. You know, it looks really good, but yeah, it's just a bit disappointing when, you know, a player like Florian Wirtz, who's quite template. Oh, Jesus, he was almost an on goal again. Yeah, Scotland aren't looking great defensively. They really aren't. And Germany, decent start from them so far. Oh dear. I'm shitting myself. Richard Millerchip says, Dylan, have you ever been recognised in the street by a fan of your content? Actually, no. I'm not that big. I'm not that big, mate. Nah. People like I know will ask, like, what's your, you know, YouTube? But yeah, no, I don't think that's happened. Tomorrow's going to be a rude awakening. When I see my team, I have players for the long run. Yeah. Oh, shit. It's number 7, Musiala. We're in trouble. We're in trouble, boys. Number 10. Oh, it's 2-0. Musiala's just scored. Oh, and Kai Havertz got the assist. Wow. Fair play. Wow, Germany are really cooking. 2-0 up in 18 minutes. I did not expect that. And that's actually my prediction. It's 2-0. Let's actually go to the predictor. I went for 2-0 Germany. So far I've got it spot on, but I didn't get the first player to score right because it was Wirtz. So Wirtz and Musiala with the goals, and Kimmich and Havertz with the assists. Fair play to those with any of those assets. I've only got Mittelstadt. Oh wait, I think my mum's got Havertz, doesn't she? Nah, she's going to be... Well, she's actually supporting Scotland. I can hear her in the background, but yeah, she's... Oh, she got some points at least. She got some points. Damn. Apologies to any Scottish people watching. Condolences, but it's only football. And I'm sure some of you will enjoy some good beverages. And this won't matter at all. That was a terrible Scottish accent. And my surname, well, let's not get into personal details, right? I don't want stalkers to get excited. Kieran Tierney. What the bloody hell's going on? Musiala, you bloody twat. What can we do here? Yeah. Fuck's sake. Anyways, yeah, there's more to life than Euro fantasy. Let's talk about films again. Captaincy and Pellegrini. Interesting. Yeah, Pellegrini should start. What are you going to do in Matchday 2? Mate, I don't even know what I'm going to have for dinner yet. So we'll talk about Matchday 2 when we get to the content. For now, let's chillax a little bit. Let's watch this game and enjoy it with a pizza and blah. Yes, Havertz was in my team. He's my captain. Fair play. We both have Jorginho and DeMarco versus Spain next game week. Yeah, I think I'll play a chip in Matchday 2, to be honest. Virgil, Mittelstadt, Kunde, and Frimpong. Yeah, good defense there, Courage. Not sure if Frimpong starts, but if he does, that's a great pick. Thanks a lot, Gundogan. You are mediocre for Barca and now even worse for Germany. Not trusting these Barca players anymore. To be fair, mate, it's only 20 minutes. It's just when you see Wirtz and Havertz and all these template picks going off, you start to question yourself. Football is the most unimportant thing ever. Well, you didn't say ever. I added that. It's important, but there is more to life than football. I bet you're related to Alexis at Liverpool, says Twisted Parky. Yeah. I like McAllister, to be fair. Pickford, Lunin, Mbappe, DeMarco. Yeah, good squad, Courage. Lots of Germany attackers, all mid-value. Hard to get them all in. Yeah. If people have two of them, they'll be cooking right now. But there's more to life than football. And there's more to fantasy football than Euros. And there's also more to the Euros than Germany. There's still a long way to go. I went 1-1 tonight. Yeah, look, you never know, but it's very unlikely that Scotland come back now. It's a shame. I still think Scotland can nick a goal, but yeah, Germany have really looked impressive. Time for a beer, Dylan. Cheers. Yeah, look, I've just got my water, which I haven't even drank enough of. Somebody is streaming the Germany versus Scotland live on Twitter free. Unbelievable. Yeah, it does happen quite a lot, to be fair. I won't be doing it here for copyright reasons. You never know. Mittelstadt could still hypothetically bag 500 goals. Mate, if he gets a goal or assist, I'll be happy. And to be fair, if he scores and keeps a clean sheet, I think that's my captain lock, but very unlikely. Goodbye, Dylan. Time to watch the game. I need my luck to change fast. Yeah, once again, you look at him. Don't worry about it. It's only 20 minutes in. Obviously, you could tell by my reaction, I'm not the most pleased with Germany being 2-0 up and, obviously Mittelstadt not doing anything yet. But it is what it is. Scotland have already been grouped. To be fair, Germany are the best team in the group on paper. So, Mittelstadt don't get booked. You just made a foul. That's the last thing I need right now, mate. Yeah, it's probably a good thing I don't do watch-alongs yet. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day. But yeah, thank you to everyone who has tuned in today. It's been a pleasure talking to all of you. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe for new. And if you aren't already, watch the game. It's a very good one so far. 2-0 in 90 minutes for Germany. And yeah, as we just mentioned, Wirtz scored the opener, assisted by Kimmich. And then Havertz set up Musiala for the second goal. Yeah, Germany looking very strong right now. And Gundogan has just won a foul. No yellow cards yet by Leandro Trossard's brother. Yes. Euro fantasy, eh? We should be taking a break, shouldn't we, from these fantasy games, but we're setting ourselves up for more failure and misery, unless you've got the Germany players. Hope it finishes 4-4. Not me, because I got Mittelstadt, to be fair. Gundogan gets to... Yeah, you know what, Twisted Park, yeah, I'd say just be realistic. Otherwise, you'll set yourself up for disappointment. But once again, massive shout out to Twisted Park, everyone else watching, all the channel members and patrons, especially the new ones. We gifted 10 memberships in this live stream. We hit 24k subscribers. Oh, that could be a penalty, and it's a penalty for Germany. For fuck's sake, let me end the stream first. Let me end the fucking stream, I say. Musiala just won a penalty. Gundogan will be taken. So maybe Twisted Parky, you are cooking. Like Nabry does. I'm speechless. I really am. And it's Tierney who conceded it, no? No, it wasn't. It was Christie. He shouldn't have been in the lineup. He shouldn't have been in the lineup. That's the only thing I got wrong. Or was it Tierney who gave it away? I think I got it. No, it was Tierney. Oh, Jesus Christ. Kieran, what are you doing? Oh dear. It's a good thing I'm logging off now. It's a good thing I'm logging off now because I'm getting no points. Yeah, but some people have double Germany. Yeah, I've only got one. I had 2 at one point. I don't think I ever had 3. Yeah, I never had 3. Laporte is not playing tomorrow. Yeah, no, he's not going to play. It's going to be Nacho. I covered this at the beginning of the stream as well. I thought Trap, but looking good. Yeah, no, well, enjoy your penalty. Unless he misses it. Penalty, I've Gundogan. Yeah, this game is just well and truly over. It's just a matter of how many goals they score. The words still in my ears. Yeah, and I just jinxed it because I literally said be realistic and then he wins a penalty. Yeah, maybe Havertz takes the penalty. They're checking it. Don't give it. Trossard, don't give it. They're going to give it, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to give it. Oh dear, the Tartan army, what are you doing? Yeah, penalty given for... Let's keep it PG, even though we haven't done that. Gundogan is in my team too. Wait, is in your team as well, or is in your second team? It's not that deep, Ghana. I mean, there's still a long way to go, but I just had a funny feeling that I might regret certain things. I almost made late changes and brought in Sudakov and Wirtz, but I didn't. Oh, it's not even a free kick. Sorry, it's not a penalty. They're giving a free kick. I think they'd give the free kick just outside the box. Ooh, sorry, Twister Parky, but we've got to celebrate. We've got to celebrate. Funny how we spend about a month looking at stats just for random stuff to take place. Yeah, you just made me feel like I wasted my time. But thank you. Thank you very much. No, I see what you're saying, but football's always like that, isn't it? Stats are only one part of the game. Stats are there to give you an insight into how things can go and certain trends, but ultimately, random things happen, you know? When you see Zabani scoring his first ever goal for Bournemouth in double game week 28, yeah, I mean, stats aren't going to suggest that's going to happen, but there's always a first time for everything, so. What are your transfer plans for Matchday 2? As I asked this earlier, and I basically said I'm not going to think about that yet. I'm going to enjoy the game today. Over the weekend, I'll plan my content, maybe record some videos for Limitless and Wildcard, and potentially the team selection on Monday or Tuesday. I think that's the plan. But at the moment, I've got no plan. I'd say a chip is likely to be used in Matchday 2, though, based on how I've set my team up. What transfers are you making? Yeah, sorry, I just covered that. Busted login details. Can't even get into the match. You're swearing as well, Twister Parky. Ooh, that was a decent free kick by Havertz. Next live on the 19th. That is the plan. The next live stream on Wednesday, the 19th of June. Might have to call an early day on work so I can make it for the live stream. Yes, that is the plan. No penalty. I'm guessing those Gundogan owners are breaking something. Try not to break anything, please. Tony Cruz. No. He takes he takes corners and free kicks, but he's not literally the first free kick taker as we just saw. Although I don't think Kai Havertz is either. They kind of alternate between them. So, yeah, no, with Tony Cruz, obviously he's on the thumbnail. Why? It's his last tournament and he's German, and Germany are playing right now and cooking. 2-0 up inside 28 minutes. But let me know if you want to see watch-alongs in the future beyond Euro Fantasy and all this stuff. There's still 75 people watching, so I do appreciate those that have tuned in for so long. To a guy chatting crap for like, what, 2.5, I can't speak, 2 hours and a half straight? Jesus, it's time to call it a day. It really is. I hope Sane comes on second half. It is possible. It really is. It's most likely going to be for Wirtz, and that's the reason why I didn't go for the Bayer Leverkusen attacking midfield in the first place. But let's see how it all pans out. Let's try this again, right? And hopefully this time there's no goal when I'm signing off. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for helping reach 24k subscribers. It's massively appreciated. I gifted 10 memberships to new channel memberships. Jesus, I'm just repeating myself now. I gifted 10 new members on YouTube to celebrate 24k subscribers. And there are many other links in the description below for my Twitter and Instagram, Dylan RCM, Tony Cruz just fell, haha. And yeah, there's a Discord server, Euro Fantasy League, and much more. Germany don't score now. Honestly, don't do it again. Maybe I should just end the stream and help Scotland and give them a fighting chance. But yeah, the site is still struggling, really. That's surprising. Do you think Grealish omission is a mistake? I would have included him, to be honest, and same, well, Maguire's injured. But yeah, even Rashford, for example, I would have included these sorts of players to give England something different. Have a good one, mate. Likewise, Garner. Is that Garnacho? But yeah, Twisted Parky as well. So poor. Keep up the great work, Dylan. See you on the 19th, hopefully. That is the plan. See you, Badraz, and good luck for Matchday 1. Hopefully, the rest of this Matchday is much better than what we've seen, from my perspective anyway. Congratulations on those that have gotten points so far. Most importantly, enjoy the football, have fun, and have a great Eurofantasy. Really, I can't even complete that sentence. Have a great Eurofantasy tournament, basically, and just have fun, for Christ's sake.